69, Jack, talk about what we saw from Group A, the 8 teams that qualified, the fantastic 8 games that we saw on day 1 and day 3 of the semi-finals, and what we saw and essentially what happened.
For sure. Let's talk about it. What we saw and what we hope to see from those on the bubble. Break it down.
Yeah, of course. So, looking on top of the standings of Group A, we had Nomad on top, Sweet Chili Sensations and Kings, first, second, and third. But definitely, when you look in the bottom of the standings, you have NGG in 6th, Unique surprisingly in 7th, and the Angry Kids in 8th place. And then, of course, in between that, in 4th place, you had RESQ, in 5th place, you had Inside Game. So those are your 8 teams that made it through to the finals of the RESQ $1,200 tournament. Well done to the teams in Group A. Commiserations and surprise that the likes of Cream didn't make it through, and the teams down below. But at the end of the day, if you don't get the job done, you don't get the job done.
Yeah, it was a bit regrettable. I think they were shy about 15 points or so. Cream hitting 9th place. Just a couple of aggressive plays that didn't pan out the way they thought it would. All right, so those things happen.
No, not at all. But yeah, let's have a look now at the teams in Group B. So, like in the overall standings after 4 games of Group B, you have Pain in first place, 12-18 in second, and Alpha from 6th place below. NASR in 6th, WaWa in 7th, Alliance in 8th, Swat 69 in 9th, and Tochka B in 10th. But what is really interesting is that Alliance and SWAT 69, 8th and 9th respectively, same points.
That is wild. Just the slight kill differential. Those teams neck and neck, back to back there. They're going to have to separate themselves from not just each other, but from the rest of the pack. Even all the way down to, as you said, 12th place, just a matter of about 10 points away. That's not even an amazing game away. That could be a decent game, and you throw yourself right above them. So they're definitely going to have to distance themselves from that. Pretty interesting to note that the top 2 teams coming from the same house originally. Actually, Team Pain originating from Team Relax. They were pulled up by an org, and then Team Pain moved up to Team 12-18, and they replenished their original roster. So they're doing something right in that house. Absolutely. Let's see if 6 and below, as you said, can kind of replicate that success. But it's, if you note, all the way from about 4th place to about 11th place, it is nothing but one chicken dinner away in terms of points. Of course, the teams will not stop, so you're going to have to make a bigger closure of the gap because they're not going to stop their points. But still, just one chicken dinner away, and you're neck and neck. Very much doable, and that's to be what's expected from only playing half of the first bracket here.
Yeah, like, as to take an example, Inside Games at the end of day 1 of Group A, they were in 13th place.
Yeah.
They ended that second day in 5th place after getting 2 chicken dinners on day 2. So it's very easily possible for the teams in the bottom half of the table.
Absolutely. I would say this bracket in comparison with A, which again, they have no reflection or no correlation on each other. They won't face each other into the finals. A lot more standard. The teams with the higher placement points are also the teams with the higher kill points. So you can kind of see more of a standard trajectory forming, as opposed to, you might see all the way down to about 6th, 7th place in Group A be some of the top fraggers. So
That's true.
yeah, a little bit more of a standard gameplay here.
However, I would say that at the end of the day, though, it kind of all comes down to consistency, right? Like when you're looking at the teams from Group A, 6, 7, and 8, they got an average of between 9 and 10 points per game to make it through. When you look at NASR, who are in 6th, they have an average of 9.75 points per game. Alliance, who are on 32 points, they have an average of about 9 points. Think about 9 point 8, 16, actually literally 8 points per game, my apologies. So there is that kind of, Alliance definitely need to step it up to get that average points per game, but it gives you an idea. We're going to see as we get through these 4 games.
Absolutely. And speaking of C, I would like to see in 12th and 16th place big leaders in their specific regions, including a champion, Yalla Esports and Dream Eaters, come up in a major way. We are indeed in the plane path, so let's see. It's game time.
Game time indeed. It is going down from the south, from the west down to the east. Kind of pretty central, a little bit southerly on the map trajectory, but it's going to be relatively easy for the teams to kind of get where they want to go, bar if you want to land very high up and around Severny area.
Absolutely. You had some pretty classic playing paths here. You can't really be mad at these. Uh as we say, I'll pray for you tomorrow though, and for the teams that you'll be seeing tomorrow, because I have a feeling it won't look nothing like this. It never does when the stakes are increased. I swear it just skews left and right. But it's pretty true to form, and I'm not mad at it. 12-18, going to where they know as home and taking a little bit extra over here. Looks like they had a bit of an overwatch from Tulika, landing down later in the roadway here in South Georgia. And I think that information let them know that, yeah, we're clear all the way from hospital to South Georgia. In the prioritization, pulling up the vehicle to a safe capture there. Intellectual team.
Yeah, but look at ARB champions and Team Pain both landing in South George. We also have Team Frag up in North George, and Lions dropped around just outside George, but they'll probably rotate up to Severny because that's their normal drop spot. But definitely a lot of action on the George Pool area, basically northwest side of the map.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Team 12-18 atop of that South Georgia to Crates Hill to kind of spectate in third party what potentially might erupt here with ARB champions in Pain here. Looks like a bit of a standstill. Literally, players paused as we know there is another team in opposition. Don't want to overextend past these crates. Literally, Krill doing his job. He's in the watchtower, angling towards ARB there. Surely has caught wind of them. I want to take a look also at Pachinki. Team Baad and Tochka G. Two teams, the initial teams as we call them, not giving up and not ceding to the other.
In the words of Rick Astley, never going to give you up, never going to let you down, never going to turn around, but I will clap you in the face if Clever gets knocked down. So Tochka G have a small advantage, but I don't know if it's going to be enough that they're going to be able to at least confirm that kill and maybe clean out that engage on Pachinki.
Yeah, able to connect flushly with the SKS shots. Pevanoply with great aggression will be achieving and consuming that land that was allowed to be taken there at the hands of Clever. Down to 3-1 confirmation there.
That's good. That's good for Tochka G. They're really looking impressive as a team. We know what they can do. They're aggressive as well. Now as Anvern closes in, Nectar is up on the top floor of that building. How's he going to respond? They're going to look to jump out. Wise choice, Nectar, my friend.
Yeah, using that utility as a form of distraction, but on Vern and joke about not deterred. Might be actually pushing them right into the other half. And good move for Sandra to leak up on this side of the street as Khalid returns the knock onto Joke about there. Just chasing too aggressively. He was able to turn around and check his rear.
Yeah, the bait came out, and then Muhammad coming in and getting a knockdown to Anvern. So what initially looked so good for Tochka G, they had their blinkers on. They were a little bit too narrow-minded. They chased, but they fell right into the trap laid by Baad.
Yeah, now they're relatively stacked on one angle of what's left. Pevanoply up in the pathway. Did get a successful revive. She's going to meet Nectar on the corner on her lonesome. Barely getting the drop, but return for her efforts from Khaled off of that 3-stack. Muhammad and Sandra left on the left side angle here.
Anvern is there, but Sandra gets knocked down by Muhammad, and this is going to see the end of Tochka G if Khaled can close the kill out on the Anvern, but Anvern is holding on inside the building. Oh God, I'm about to...
In the corner. What a perfect spot for her to flush them out from left to right. You should have taken the time to understood where she was thoroughly before jumping in the window. You jumped in the pool before your temperature check there, buddy.
Suppose you could say Tochka G took my breath away.
Yeah, they hit the spot there, if you will.
And what was even more important for Tochka G is that they survived with a full squad.
Yeah.
No confirms came out from Baad. That is something that they should have closed out, because the knockdowns, not only does that actually give vision to the rest of Tochka G and say, hey, look, he's here or he's here, but you're also taking away vital chances to get points on the board, even if you do go out early.
Yeah, and I was going to say, they haven't secured the best angles, but they were pushing towards them aggressively. I was like, oh, they're getting bait into that trap. But because of that aggression, almost didn't work out. They weren't able, as you said, to thirst any of those kills. As soon as you got a knock, there was another one upon you.
Exactly. Much needed points for Tochka G as well, lying 10th place overall on 27 points, only 5 points away from Swat 69 and Alliance ahead of them in 9th and 8th respectively. I am looking over on the fight in South George Crates between ARB champions and Team Pain, and confirmed coming out another knockdown onto Omar, Bazi, Krill, Yasha, and Lubomir. I always find it hard to say his name.
Lubomir will get tagged up as he shifts towards the warehouse, but not deterred for it. They want to stack up their forces here. Have dropped a Boomar in the open way as he begs and pleads to get to Hellboy here. He might not be enough to save you. They're holding down multiple angles over here. Pretty stacked on the left side of Hellboy. Utility coming out as well. He's got to shift forward off that right side. Lubomir, though, is not able to peek. That's his right side. Another utility. He doesn't need to peek. Yasha said, I got the peeks in my nades.
And in the end, it's just too much. Nice grenade coming out from Yasha. Get that knockdown. It's from a distance and then push in. And yeah, okay. A knockdown came down from that remaining player of ARB champions. But in the end, like I said, it was just too much. They cleaned it up, and South George going over to the side of Team Pain.
And it looks like, just like the first map in day one, a high north priority here. Might even see, don't want to jinx it for those up here, might even see another Yasnaya prison break finish. It was amazing to see the end of that game one. 12-18, running over two different players. Tochka G running through multiple squads. And WaWa in the same place that they originated, south 4 buildings, as they erupt shots against Alpha Legends here in Yasnaya.
Now, what's good about this circle is that with a lot of teams landing in George, and actually quite a good few teams landing on the east side of the map between Yasnaya and Shelter, that does create a lot of space for teams to actually rotate from the center. So Tochka G, NASR, even Totem, Esports, and Yalla down the south side of the circle. So there is plenty of space, a lot of land area. Yeah, the river comes into play, so you might have to think, should we commit to north or south side of the river, or maybe go for a 2-2 split? We know Rosshawk is open. School has plenty of spaces. Hold on to that high angle up on top of the hill overlooking Rosshawk.
Yeah, and Rosshawk completely unaccompanied or uncontested right now. That would be a good move. A lot of teams probably don't think that would be the case, so they might not want to venture for it, but you could give that a little bit of a scout and see what's going on over there. Like Swat 69, currently one of the only teams outside the zone down there southeast, but the eastern border would be clear. I would kind of change my priority and focus knowing how far we are from center mass there.
So that's the thing. It's a matter of how much do the teams know about where each other are on the map. We haven't seen too many scouts play just yet. The rotation from Frag heading on the north side of the river. Alliance have rotated pretty swiftly from Severny, considering they have to get vehicles and actually drive up to Severny from outside George Pool. They've actually rotated really swiftly, and that's something that I've noted, and I really love it from the Alliance.
Yeah, they are quick to move, and as I was looking at the map, originally one of the most spread teams, super aggressive. I remember the first map in here in Erangel, the spread they had to just control and clear out the east side helped Tochka G against a strong fight against Team Pain, cleared out Yalla, did fantastic work to also clear out NASR Esports from that east side. The Alliance just super spread and super strong on their angles altogether.
A team I don't like the position of is Totem Esports in Watertown. I hate that location. I really do. If you have to loot there, or if you have to go there temporarily, cool. Grab a little bit of loot. But to disengage away from Watertown as you get further into the game is incredibly difficult. So I worry about Totem.
Is it just because of the land masses all around it and the water speed, of course, differential?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's just, you know, it's like going into a bucket of quicksand in my eyes.
Yeah, that
you know, it's
definitely
kind
makes
of like
sense.
the quicker you try to leave there, the slower it gets, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just something that Totem will have to.
Well, hopefully they'll get out of dodge while dodge is good for getting, as NASR does. We mentioned it early or on with their Eastern Confrontation last games here, and it looks like they want to continue that, heading with a beeline straight towards the Alliance. You see Discrim actually just waiting for you with open arms, an open reticle of a 3-power actually. Red zone above him quickly does dissipate. Marco in the lead caravan there. Discrim, I like what he's doing. He's waiting for an opportune moment, or at least going to mark out to his fellers up above. And Headache the Beamer might be able to have a better shot, so why waste that surprise angle?
And I like the fact that Alliance sent Sunrise down a little bit closer to the river just to do a bit of scouting for about 20 seconds and then join up with the rest of the team, especially with the information given by Discord. So Discord would have said, hey, guys, there's a squad to our west. Maybe you should think about holding on. But no, Sunrise is actually still driving around. A little bit interesting about that. That could go against Alliance, because if you look at the fact that they are kind of 1-1-1-1, let's see how it goes.
And it looks like Tulika up above from Team 1218 did note both NASR and Team Frag here, Team 10. You're just going to put some shots upon them. No connection. And it looks like Hixia also going to be angling towards him. A battle of DPs might be raging out here.
Talking about a battle of raging on, Pain being punished by Tochka G. Rotated outside of Pachinki. They've gone up towards just outside Ruins near Everest, and they've knocked down Krill. However, Avern is very low in health. The push back will come out from Tochka G, just maybe saying, hey, look, if we can secure that kill, get a sneaky point on the board from that point of view, and then disengage away, I like it.
Yeah, the rest of Tochka D did dissipate there. Complete confidence in their IGL on Vern to make herself out of that way, or just have to say goodbye for now. Not worth losing everything we have so far. We are on that cusp, that all-important cusp that we mentioned earlier, that bubble from about 6th to 12th place, and we've just got to move forward, and she's moving out pretty smoothly. No confirmation on the kill, but she'll be able to move out.
Yeah, no, I like that. I do like it. I don't like the fact that they're going into Ruins. We have seen Phase 2 shift up north, so it is 95% chance going to be a north side of the river finish. So is going to force a lot of these teams from the southeast side of the map to rotate through. Alpha Legends, you have the side of IM, which I forget the name of the tag. I think that's
WaWa.
WaWa? Yep. WaWa, that's what I was thinking, WaWa. The real deal are shifting around. Yasna, nice safety. iKurd coming on the river. A little bit risky on their rotation, because it's kind of late, so I'm worried they might get caught out, but so far so good.
All right, and just got note that you are indeed a bit low, guys. We're working with some volume checks. The man has an uber important cast tomorrow, so you got to do some sound checks. Good luck to him and a lot of these competitors that will be competing in the EU regional finals tomorrow. So I was just trying to get our levels back. You're good.
Yeah, no,
you're good. I'll raise you. No,
sure.
Yeah, you stay. You got an important setting. I'll raise you here in my headset.
I can increase it via Discord. That's why I want to make sure. But anyway, yeah, I'll increase it on my end, because I had actually lowered it in fairness. So I'll increase it a couple of notches on my end. So hopefully that'll make an improvement. But anyway, talking about raising things up a couple of notches, teams are getting a lot closer together, rotating towards the center of the circle. But it's all open, high ground area. So you want to make sure you are very confident on how you hold your position as a team.
Yeah, and iKurd somehow just skating past by all the treacherous points here. You saw that? Just slipping the knot here. We noted a couple of these teams ringing out shots, and iKurd's like, yeah, cool, nice story. However, I want the middle.
You do want the middle. And a very popular song by the team by the band Jimmy Eat World. Yeah. But anyway, just random thoughts coming out there. His Pain engages onto the Alliance, does get one knockdown in, coming in from Rozak saying, hey, you know what, you can't have all the land area, we want some of it.
And that's sometimes what is due to happen. You're holding on that southern angle, actually outside of the angle of coverage from the rest of your teammates behind the small mound, and Team Pain should be able to take you down there, not really surprisingly.
Yeah, because like I kind of mentioned, the Alliance were kind of spread a little bit too thinly with that circle shift up north. I believe they should have reacted a little bit better, but they didn't. Pain came in, took a player down. It was what it was. See, quoting your good self.
All right, so you can watch that one develop. I'm gonna move up a bit north. Swat 69 did hit a smooth criminal rotation from that east side, actually with great prejudice. They swung all the way around from Milta power to one of the most centralized teams, skating past the likes of Yalla and WaWa at Bars at Yasnaya. And here we are, pretty well off. Not well off is Lubomir at the distance. Tron with the AWM knock, trying to disengage from the original engagements and just dropping themselves into the palms of SWAT 69 Alpha Legends as well. I believe a top 3 team here rotating past by. Looks like Kato was thinking about the shots, but realizing the side of this hill here is just too open for us.
Good stuff coming out from there. I do want to point out that we have had WaWa join a lot closer to where Pain and Alliance were. So we're having a bit of a 3-squad fight going on down on the south side, just past the river. The Alliance choosing to disengage away from that in clever play. But I wonder, is that too little too late? Because as they get closer to the circle, their team's already there. They're already home ground. They set up camp. Will they get pushed down?
Yeah, and there is indeed. You were watching one paint fight. I was watching the other in the bottom half that was on the northern tip outside of Rozhok. Looks like they want to wrap around and link up with Baad and the gang up north. But speaking of that, up to the north, we do have another knockdown from a rotation. Alpha Legends over here. We're trying to skate past by that SWAT 69 battle and did suffer a knock onto Mirza here.
Yeah, but it was also Alliance lost a player as well. At the hands of their rotations. So that was that late rotation, which I called wouldn't go against them, and now the Lions don't know what the hell.
They're still rotating. They're still rotating.
I know, they're still rotating.
Unreal. They did finally find themselves a literal shelter here. Gonna do the old okey doke, box ourselves in. Hopefully for you, the zone maintains with ya, but up above. Speaking of maintaining that ever so cumbersome presence of 12-18, not allowing anyone within meters, and Alpha Mirza is gonna find that one out quickly.
Yeah, like I said, hold on to the high ground. It's great in the center of the circle, but it's out in the open. And at this stage, as you get phase 2 closing up, it's quite obviously in the north side of the river. You find yourself under a lot of pressure. Some words are confirmed. Kato, Faker, and Riemann left standing. I like the 2-2 split from Yalla as well, although they do seem to be joining up. Just as I managed to say that, Caster cursing myself. SWAT 69 together, the real deal. Just on the outskirts of Severny. Teams are definitely finding a good spot to call their own.
Once again, Tron achieving that cannon, that AWM knock onto a member of Pain here. Speaking of those spreads, you're talking about that soft 2-2 or even a larger 2-2. Look at the spread of 12-18. And the zone pops over a bit to the west, but they still hold the north. They knew that the north was pretty clear. They were there holding off the Severny region to the west for a long time. They disengaged from South Georgia. They knew they were clear, and they shifted actually 2 members down south to be that early warning system where obviously more of the opposition would come from. How do you feel about that strat right there?
No, I really like that, but it's about how you respond now with that circle shifting down towards the southwest. Jagger 12-18, they're going to go a little bit closer in towards the center. I would like to see them wrap around as a full squad on the other side of shooting range on the high ground, but they're going to hold out so far as teams are definitely starting to conglomerate so close by them. It's crazy.
This Eastern stack is unreal. Pain taking about a little bit of revenge. Suffered a rotational knock by their opposition, SWAT 69. They're going to return that onto the real deal here.
I don't get why they were going for such a direct east rotation, right? It didn't really make sense. It doesn't make sense by the real deal, especially because they were rotating quite separately and disconnected. However, in saying that, they do still manage to survive as a 3-man team for now, relatively inside the circles. 12-18 and SWAT 69.
Yeah, SWAT 69 noting their quick rotations. We saw it on the first shift. This time, quick rotation going to deliver you into the pathway of 12-18. Kind of not sure why we didn't hear the shots. Your building was just adjacent of this large hill where Rogi was, and they were also helping to knock down teams that you were shooting in rotation. Gotta be aware and gotta read that kill feed.
Definitely indeed. Alpha Legend, they got a really nice spread in the center of the circle, but I want to say, don't spread yourself too thinly. That's all I'll say. Tochka G, they're so much space on the southwest side. Nobody's going anywhere near them, but they still got to be careful. I would recommend maybe sending 2 players a little bit more forward towards the center of the circle just or even one person to scout. But so far, they're looking good as a full squad.
Yeah, the Queens of the West over there from that side to the east side. We did know the rotational kill off of Robs from WaWa. And although we're outside of the zone, I do like this response here. We realized we lost a player in rotation. We're on the eastern edge. We're going to have to change the speed and the depth of our rotations here.
Talking about rotations, Yalla Esports going for a really harsh rotation towards the real north side, going on the north side of Severny. But I worry, is that just time spent rotating too far back in terms of they won't be able to find a spot inside the circle? Two are in, two are about to go in. Let's see if it works.
They have found themselves a spot right here outside of shooting range with 1218. I don't know if it's a spot to be between two smoking UAZs. And Rogi says, I know for sure it's not the spot to be unless you want to feed me. And it's like one member and Zana linking up. Zana, the mechanical beast, able to retaliate and clear out this mound above that's been overwatched by Rogi for so long here.
Yeah, row confirmed by Zana, so that's good. However, Reuter comes in and third parties to knock down Zana. That's going to leave Yalla pinch. Just one player left up. The Revives might be able to crawl through on the 0. And Jano as a three-man team, but 12-18, they're seeing the smokes. They're looking for it. They might want to try to engage, or they will be aware of the fact that Alliance did get a confirm onto a member of Yalla.
Yes, sir. Off of that hill push that he had and replacing Rogi will be Zako right back on top of that overwatch. Where you knock one, another one will pop up. Look at Ray's prone in the middle of all this action, all the way from the Alliance over to the west and over, to the east, and then over here to the west. This battle, which is still happening here, a bit of a reset on the immediate fence here for Yalla and 1218.
Yeah, Zero got too close to comfort. He got clapped, he got knocked. Anis is in the smoke. Jano's really peeling back, which is a nice angle for him to hold on to. But 12-18, they have them covered. You have Zakon on the hill that you mentioned, but Tulika with the grenade gets knocked down. Good stuff by Yalla. Now they're going to look to climb out. Another knockdown on the Bandita 77. Sonny, it's all turned sour for 12-18.
Yeah, I was digging this spread, but what can you do when you have the full squad, a majority of the squad here of Yalla at your front door? That spread won't pay yet too well off. Zako, the last one in the distance, up north for 12-18.
It was all about that grenade. That's what kicked it off for Jano. Integral throw, integral Kobe, but we do see the circle once again shifting down towards the south. West Tochka G, they respond going directly on the west. That does give more space for the likes of NASR to close in. Alpha have compounded together more, realizing they can't take as much of the circle as they would like to, but teams are shifting in from the east. This is going to get incredibly hot and heavy. iKurd going to be the first team rolling in.
And it's like Totem finally coming out from that water prison, as you call it. But far wraparound down south will be WaWa, as we do suffer a knock from Steve in his rotation. Totem wasted, catching another member from WaWa. A bit of an unfortunate wraparound, but I still don't blame you for doing it. It is the most clearest section of the zone here.
WaWa West. We're talking about the WaWa West.
Impact. Impact, the last player standing. Are we coming to his compound here? Oh, Wasted will be shifting. Oh, Wasted alone. Where's the rest of your squad? What are we doing here? This is a little bit different. All right, they will be linking up as well. Took a bit of a minute. They have got one revival up in Hisoka here. You're going to have to do it with two men as the rest of Totem shift to the shack side of this compound here. They want to finish this one and have a clear south entry to the zone.
Indeed. I've been personally keeping an eye on the fight between Alpha Legends and iKurd on the east side of the circle. iKurd got in there. Dila does spread himself apart. The other three members of iKurd are now going to join up. So that's nice communication by iKurd as a team. They want to re-rotate, but they still got to find the angle. So as much as rotating is good and repositioning is good, it does take away time that you are pulling onto the other team.
Oh, Hisoka goes down, but not before catching the nade knock onto Totem on the front side of this compound. A bit of a regrettable angle. You knew you were open here in the entryway of these two broken slabs here, and you got caught slipping, but luckily the nade went out before you were killed. Going to be a bit of a reset. Impact was the hero, still is the lone player standing here. Totem still with their 3 players at this compound. We're going to do this until the blue consumes us, I guess. This is what we're doing out here, Totem. I guess you got to wait now.
Go hard or go home. Go hard or go home.
And I think they want to disengage now, and Impact will be able to move if he can heal up and join the rest of the teams here.
Now, talking about moving, we saw the circle shift up toward the northeast. That was a bit of a hard shift. Tochka still have a position. It has actually aided very much Alpha Legends and iKurd, but a knockdown did come down onto a member of iKurd. He will get revived up. But now we're seeing Yalla coming in saying, hey, we want a bit of fun.
Yalla wants fun, and so does the Alliance. This duo not acting as if they know there's only 2 of them, taking shots at anything that moves. We're north and outside the zone, getting a knock 130 onto the real deal. They haven't had the best ways. Multiple times I see them stuck barrage red bars on the side of a hill.
Yeah, but you know what? They're making it count so far. We still do have 12 teams, 32 players up, so there's a lot of bodies still left in the lobby.
iKurd putting themselves in between Yalla and another aggressive mount between Alpha Legends here. Not the best ways, but we are making a fort. 3 vehicles in a rock will hold us pretty strong, hopefully, for iKurd.
Well, it's a great position for Alpha Legends, but couple of grenades inside that mound, and they will be absolutely taking the hell out. All the while, iKurd looking for Frag, and 4th party coming up on the south side of the circle with Frag, trying to find a spot in. Yalla inside the circle. They don't want to engage. They're being passive. I don't mind that play from Yalla.
Yeah, holding down this. Oh, you wanted to stay out, but iKurd said, no, come join us. We're tagging you in. Here's this nade and hold it as they try to clear what's off into their east in the form of Yalla, and I don't blame them for that. They would be the most eastern team here and would have more room to operate here.
Yeah, iKurd saying, you're not going to join us. Well, we will grab you and we will take you with us. Come to the dark side, my friends. Anis is going to look to try and call away. Maybe the revive will come out, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Freak gets knocked down by Frag. Freaky Frag. Now Frag trying to make a push, but it's going to be incredibly hard.
You let me know how that one phases out. The real deal is actually pushed up and towards their lead aggressors in the Alliance here. Good rock formations, but Rooter, look at NASR! What did you know here? What a sacrifice. I don't know if you saw this, man. Oh my, what?
I didn't.
Oh my, what? Oh, what? Just rewind. Undescribable. Roxon driving to the northern edge, literally crushing and running over Rooter, and then dying or getting knocked outside the play zone. What type of kamikaze mission?
I'd like to pan it back over. Faker tried to go a little bit forward. He got pushed by iKurd, so he disengaged back, but it was too late because Frag heard the footsteps, got a grenade on. Faker gets taken out. Alpha Legends down to 2 players.
On the west side, the Queens of the West, Tochka G still clearing anything around them. They're proving to you they're uber aggressive. Didn't have to take the fights in the beginning, but we're more than happy to clear what's ours. We even hold 1 player in the centermost position in the zone with Anver in the IGL.
Yeah, and it's actually, they're in a really good position because they're downhill, and being downhill on late game actually puts you in a better advantageous position because the people that are on top of the hill, if they have to go down, more of their body is overlooking you, which means there's a higher chance you're going to get a knockdown, get a kill. So really good stuff by Tochka G. Their position could really prove a good point for them getting a chicken dinner.
Yeah, and also with that, you might see some plateau battles over here and a couple of straggling players wrap around for flanks, and then all of a sudden, Tochka G's just beaming at you when you were trying to flank the immediate fight.
Now, there is still Wasted. Wasted could be a bit of a thorn in the side for Tochka G, just to keep an eye on that. Of course, he will want to try and hold on. The blue zone is starting to close in. We're down to 8 teams. 18 players left in the lobby, my friend Jack.
Oh, look at this. It looks like Alpha Legends sending everything they've got into the trenches of the plane crash here. Hamodi is not deterred, wanting to crawl forward in the smoke pathway. Dilla goes down. Krimanj over here trying to crest the bow here, but Kaido, you've got to hold this off while Raymond holds off Frag. Hamodi with the cross angle, not able to get Kaido. He comes up quickly to the crest and finishes off iKurd here.
And now Alba wants to come in and say, hey, look, you did the brunt of the work. We will clean it up. Good stuff from the real deal. Daddy was also integral in that fight, knocking down a member of iKurd. So great stuff coming down for them. 4 teams left standing. Tochka G, Totem Esports, a member of Avon being confirmed. Frag still in this fight.
It looks like a joke about trying to wrap about to the eastern edge. Noting wasted here on the rock side is going to have to disengage a bit. Some of these teams are in that 6th to 10th range and are making it to top 4. Beautiful. Fight your way in here like Tochka G and Totem. Some of the teams who need it the most.
Frag looking good, 5th overall. Namek gets knocked down. Sandra not afraid to look in the west direction. Daddy inside the vehicle. That's a risky, bold move, but Daddy's got you covered. He's coming in the car. He wants to pick you up. He wants to take you out for lunch, buy you a little bit of dessert, and clean up the chicken dinner.
Unreal that the real deal is here. After all those rotational bullies that were pushed from left to south to right to north, it was unreal, but somehow still here in the top 4 as utility rains out. Hixia getting dropped. Homodi will be the last ditch, but wasted. Able to drop Pevanalope, the closest member of Tochka G there.
Yeah, I told you Wasted could be a bit of a thorn inside. Pevanapoli. Oh my god. I'm just gonna call her Pineapple, okay?
You can call her dead, is what you can. Wasted confirming there. Noting he has more opposition over here for Tochka G. A utility prince here. Trying to connect another one, but joke about as well. Saying, I'm nice with the mollies. Hers just a bit shy. Unreal Flames just cutting short of a rock and short of a tree here. Small respite now.
Small respite indeed. The next phase, phase 8, still stays in the favor of Tochka G, but they've been put down to just 2 players. Joke about and Sandra. I'll tell you what, they're certainly not going to joke about the ending of this game. They want to close it out. They want to start day 2 of Group B with a juicy chicken dinner. They know where Wasted is. He's behind the rock, but we can't forget about Homodi. Homodi is ready, but Wasted get wipes out.
No wasted motion there, but Tochka G just a little bit better with their precision. Homodi setting up a rooftop descent there, trying to wrap around Sandra and joke about. Heard all the shots on that eastern edge and is going to angle towards the clouds.
I really like that, just hugging the blue zone line and doing it early because he's still got about 5 seconds. And as he edges closer to the lower part of the hill, like I said, it's a much better place to be down on the bottom of the hill. But now Sandra wraps around. Homodi's prone down. Homodi, I'm looking in his angle. He's going to look for a pixel out of place. He sees it. Now he's going to pop up. He gets a knockdown on the Sandra. Prone's back down. It's now going to be the response coming out from Joke about it. Is he going to find the remaining player of Tochka G and win out this 1v2, Jack?
And this is what it is. 2 teams on the bubble. Instead of pressing, we're going to stop and heal up. Nobody wanting to relinquish. Homodi back on his feet. Joke about behind the tree, letting him eclipse his bullets into the bark there. Joke about coming off the left side, drop shotting, but really dropping himself there as Tochka G are able to clutch up the first dub of day 2. Well earned there, Joke about.
Yeah, really well earned. Of course, it did get a little bit scary. Sandra was a bit, you know, presumptuous that it was going to be an easy peasy lemon squeezy win. But Homodi played fantastically towards the end. At the end of the day, I hate to say it, but I do think the only reason why Joke about it cleaned up that fight was because she had the cover of the tree. Absolutely. Homodi didn't.
Absolutely. She waited there for about 7 bullets to expire, then peeked out the last moment there. A little bit more reserved, but that's what you expect from a team who's trying to qualify. Again, it is that top 8, guys. We have many chances, but you still have to secure it while the iron's hot. 3 more games to see who's making forward to the RESQ $1,200 finals, guys. Stand by.
Yalla Esports
Also helping to knock down teams that you were shooting in rotation. That kill feed.
Definitely indeed. Alpha Legend, they got a really nice spread in the center circle, but I want to say don't spread yourself too thinly. That's all I'll say. Tochka G, they're so much space on the southwest side. Nobody's going anywhere near them, but they still got to be careful. I would recommend maybe sending 2 players a little bit more forward towards the center of the circle, or even one person to scout. But so far, they're looking good as a full squad.
Yeah, the Queens of the West over there from that side to the east side. We did know the rotational kill off of Robs from WaWa, and although we're outside of the zone, I do like this response here. We realized we lost a player in rotation. We're on the eastern edge. We're gonna have to change the speed and the depth of our rotations here.
Talking about rotations, Yalla Esports going for a really harsh rotation towards the real north side, going on the north side of Severny. But I worry, is that just time spent rotating too far back in terms of they won't be able to find a spot inside the circle? 2 are in, 2 are about to go in. Let's see if it works.
They have found themselves a spot right here outside of shooting range with 1218. I don't know if it's a spot to be between 2 smoking UAZs, and Rogi says, I know for sure it's not the spot to be unless you want to feed me. And it's like 1 member and Zana linking up. Zana, the mechanical beast, able to retaliate and clear out this mound above that's been overwatched by Rogi for so long here.
Yeah, row confirmed by Zana, so that's good. However, Rooter comes in and third parties to knock down Zana. That's going to leave Yalla pinch. Just 1 player left off the revive. Might be able to crawl through on the 0. And Jano has a 3-man team, but 1218, they're seeing the smokes. They're looking for it. They might want to try to engage, or they will be aware of the fact that Alliance did get a confirm onto a member of Yalla.
Yes, sir. Off of that hill push that he had, and replacing Rogi will be Zako right back on top of that Overwatch. Where you knock one, another one will pop up. Look at Raze proned in the middle of all this action, all the way from the Alliance over to the west and over, to the east, and then over here to the west. This battle, which is still happening here, a bit of a reset on the immediate fence here for Yalla and 1218.
Yeah, 0 got too close to comfort. He got clapped, he got knocked. Anis is in the smoke. Jano's really peeling back, which is a nice angle for him to hold on to. But 1218, they have them covered. You have Zakon on the hill that you mentioned, but Tulika with the grenade gets knocked down. Good stuff by Yalla. Now they're going to look to climb out. Another knockdown on the Bandita 77. Suddenly, it's all turned sour for 1218.
Yeah, I was digging this spread, but what can you do when you have the full squad, a majority of the squad here of Yalla at your front door? That spread won't pay you too well off. Zako, the last one in the distance, up north for 1218.
It was all about that grenade. That's what kicked it off for Jano. Integral throw, integral Kobe, but we do see the circle once again shifting down towards the south. West Tochka G, they respond going directly on the west. That does give more space for the likes of NASR to close in. Alpha have compounded together more, realizing they can't take as much of the circle as they would like to, but teams are shifting in from the east. This is going to get incredibly hot and heavy. iKurd going to be the first thing rolling in.
And it's like Totem finally coming out from that water prison, as you call it. But far wraparound down south will be WaWa, as we do suffer a knock from Steve in his rotation. Totem wasted, catching another member from WaWa. A bit of an unfortunate wraparound, but I still don't blame you for doing it. It is the most clearest section of the zone here. Impact. Impact, the last player standing. Are we coming to his compound here? Oh, Wasted will be shifting. Oh, Wasted alone. Where's the rest of your squad? What are we doing here? This is a little bit different. All right, they will be linking up as well. Took a bit of a minute. They have got 1 revival up in Hisoka here. You're going to have to do it with 2 men as the rest of Totem shift to the shack side of this compound here. They want to finish this one and have a clear south entry to the zone.
Indeed. I've been personally keeping an eye on the fight between Alpha Legend and iKurd on the east side of the circle. iKurd got in there. Dila just spread himself apart. The other 3 members of iKurd are now going to join up. So that's nice communication by iKurd as a team. They want to re-rotate, but they still got to find the angle. So as much as rotating is good and repositioning is good, it does take away time that you are pulling onto the other team.
Oh, Ahsoka goes down, but not before catching the nade knock onto Totem on the front side of this compound. A bit of a regrettable angle. You knew you were open here in the entryway of these two broken slabs here, and you got caught slipping, but luckily the nade went out before you were killed. Gonna be a bit of a reset. Impact was the hero, still is the lone player standing here. Totem still with their 3 players at this compound. We're gonna do this until the blue consumes us, I guess. This is what we're doing out here, Totem. I guess you gotta wait now.
Go hard or go home. Go hard or go home.
And I think they want to disengage now, and Impact will be able to move if he can heal up and join the rest of the teams here.
Now, talking about movement, we saw the circle shift up towards northeast. That was a bit of a hard shift. Tochka still have a position. It has actually aided very much Alpha, Legends, and iKurd, but a knockdown did come down onto a member of iKurd. He will get revived up. But now we're seeing Yalla coming in and saying, hey, we want a bit of fun.
Yalla wants fun, and so does the Alliance. This duo not acting as if they know there's only 2 of them, taking shots at anything that moves. We're north and outside the zone, getting a knock 130 onto the real deal. They haven't had the best ways. Multiple times I see them stuck barrage red bars on the side of a hill.
Yeah, but you know what? They're making it count so far. We still do have 12 teams, 32 players. Also, there's a lot of bodies still left in the lobby.
iKurd putting themselves in between Yalla and another aggressive mount between Alpha Legends here. Not the best ways, but we are making a fort. 3 vehicles in a rock will hold us pretty strong, hopefully, for iKurd.
Well, it's a great position for Alpha Legends, but a couple of grenades inside that mound, and they will be absolutely taking the hell out. All the while, iKurd looking for Frag and 4th party coming up on the south side of the circle with Frag trying to find a spot in. Yalla inside the circle. They don't want to engage. They're being passive. I don't mind that play from Yalla.
Yeah, holding down this. Oh, you wanted to stay out, but iKurd said, no, come join us. We're tagging you in. Here's this nade and hold it as they try to clear what's off into their east in the form of Yalla, and I don't blame them for that. They would be the most eastern team here and would have more room to operate here.
Yeah, iKurd saying, you're not going to join us, but we will grab you and we will take you with us. Come to the dark side, my friends. Anis is going to look to try and claw away. Maybe the revive will come out, but I don't know if it's going to be worth it. Freak gets knocked down by Frag. Freaky Frag. Now Frag trying to make a push, but it's going to be incredibly hard.
You let me know how that one phases out. The real deal is actually pushed up in towards their lead aggressors in the Alliance here. Good rock formations, but Rooter, look at NASR. What did you know here? What a sacrifice. I don't know if you saw this, man. Oh my, what?
I didn't.
Oh my, what? Oh, what? Just rewind. Undescribable. Roxon driving to the northern edge, literally crushing and running over Rooter, and then dying or getting knocked outside the play zone. What type of kamikaze mission?
I'd like to pan it back over. Faker tried to go a little bit forward. He got pushed by iKurd, so he disengaged back, but it was too late because Frag heard the footsteps, got a grenade on. Faker gets taken out. Alpha Legends down to 2 players.
On the west side, the Queens of the West, Tochka G still clearing anything around them. They're proving to you they're uber aggressive. Didn't have to take the fights in the beginning, but we're more than happy to clear what's ours. We even hold 1 player in the centermost position in the zone with Andre in the IGL.
Yeah, and they're in a really good position because they're downhill, and being downhill on late game actually puts you in a better advantageous position because the people that are on top of the hill, if they have to go down, more of their body is overlooking you, which means there's a higher chance you're going to get a knockdown, get a kill. So really good stuff by Tochka G. Their position could really prove a good point for them getting a chicken dinner.
Yeah, and also with that, you might see some plateau battles over here and a couple of straggling players wrap around for flanks, and all of a sudden Tochka G's just beaming at you when you're trying to flank them. We are back. What a fantastic opening match to day 2 rescue $1,200 tournament semifinals B, guys. that was my type of story. That was the plight of the underdog. That was a comeuppance, if you will. I noted, as you guys can see the scores to the right of Imperium there, that of the top 4, 3 of those teams were in the bottom 10, including the victors with a total of 33 points, 20 for the dub, 13 for the kills, doubling their score. That's how you fight back.
I've done some really rough calculations and could be wrong. So there, you know, it's subject to change. But if I'm not mistaken, going from 8th place downwards, the Real Deal have actually jumped up to 8th on 40 points.
Okay.
NASR are in 7th on 41. iKurd are in 6th with 53. Alpha in 5th with 58. Frag are in 4th. They've jumped up to 4th on 59. Tochka G are in 3rd with 60 points. 12-18 on 79 in 2nd, and Payne in 1st with 81. So, I think that's right. I've tried to do my maths right.
All right, guys, there you go. There's a bit of your weather report. If it's a little bit chilly or a little bit warmer, you can't blame the weatherman. He's just trying to get you prepared. So we definitely appreciate those calculations. I believe the only team, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, man, if you had oh man, I should have done it weather report style. Oh damn, I will next one. I'll do weather.
A bit of a cold draft coming in from the east side. The real deal hailstorm.
You can say so. Now we go over to our weather correspondent, Imperium.
Imperium, are you live? So I believe the only team from the top 5 day 1 to make top 5 again was Alpha Legends, right there, right? Am I
yep, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Like it was a real huge shift in the overall standings. Yalla getting 6 points, which wasn't the worst thing, but they still need to climb back up in the standings. ARB getting bad result Totem. What was really interesting about that game was that, like, you know, in that first game, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th only scored 1 point, but Payne, Alliance, and NASR all scored above like 4 points, 4 points or more. So there was that little bit of a difference.
Yeah, and I think even in that top 3, Alpha Legends, yeah, it's nice to be, previously before Tochka did Tochka things, you had the furthest gap of that top 3. You see Payne in 12-18 within a couple of points. So you wanted to keep yourself up there to make sure you're secured. Speaking of secured, go ahead and buckle your seatbelts. We are indeed in the plane.
This is your captain speaking, Imperium. We are flying a nice, juicy flight over the beautiful Miramar desert lands, going down the south side from west to east. To your left, you will see lovely city locations like Monte Nuevo, La Drillera, but down south you will see the notorious island of Minas del Sar, and then Porto Paradiso on the southeast.
Now the time currently is we're looking at a pretty southern playing path, as he mentioned, horizontal, as horizontal can be. Those far extents of La Coberia, Torreajomada, Campo Militar might be a bit out of range. And even if you got a vehicle, by the time you got there, you'll put yourself way behind the rotational curve.
So let's see where these teams look to land. Payne, the real deal, going in similar direction. You have SWAT 69 Alliance also maybe landing in Monte Nuevo. It's always a little bit hard to tell exactly where they're landing because you see them going in similar direction, but then they can suddenly veer off or go further than the other. ARB Champions, Alpha Legends going a little bit close to each other. iKurd really on their own. They have a nice plenty of space in Valdemar.
The real deal, suffering the first knock here on the initial Western drop that you noted onto Team Payne. Bazzi in specific here, the only sole member left down south here. I just don't think your little legs were able to move as quick as your teammates were. They got in their vehicle, and maybe, hopefully for them, they can retaliate. I doubt TRD, being the well intellectual team that they are, I doubt they'll be going into oppose, so you should know that that team's already headed up north in Payne.
Yeah, but I do wonder where else should they go? Where else can they go?
I'm not sure.
Right? You know, especially because as we see Phase 1 Circle, it's shifting very heavily up north. El Pozo would actually be a great spot for them to hold onto. They already have the man advantage over Payne. Why not go there?
Oh, it could be a hot contest there. Looks like Payne, maybe not even stopping. Gonna grab 2 vehicles and actually maybe going to move up to the north side of El Pozo. I would have stayed down south just a bit, maybe seeing if TRD would come up after taking your member down there on that roadside.
Possibly. Now, I do want to bring your attention down to the southeast. You have 12-18 and Baad engaging on each other in Puerto Paradiso.
Puerto Paradiso. All right, so we see them on top of each other. Also on the opposite side, the real deal's job is not finished here. Now bumping into Swat 69. Like you said, where do you go from here? This ain't it either. Pinballs being knocked back and forth. Of course, you did get that knock and that kill, but up north a bit scary here. We're being held out to the western edge here by Swat 69, losing Azzy. One of their lead fraggers. Cannot feel good. I mean, you still have Papa Pump Daddy here, but that's going to be a tough one. As you noted I think yesterday was, that it's a bit tougher on this map to move up and advance into that top 3 or even win without your full bracket of players. 3 is still doable, though.
Yes, 3 and even 2 is obviously it's a pinch, and you've really got to have the right position and a little bit of luck on your side. But yeah, 100%. The more you have on your squad available, the better. Haksha, Albie, and Daddy join back together. They're gonna disengage away, and it was a weak rotation from the real deal. And you know, not sounding bad, but they deserve to lose a member from that. I called it. There was no need for them to go there. They should have just rotated into El Pozo. Now they're going there. With a disadvantage, same amount of players as Pain. Pain have already looted up. Technically, Pain have an advantage.
Back down to Puerto Paraiso. It looks like Clever again. The first knock for his squad. I don't know what's going on, man. You might be have eyes that are bigger than your stomach. But again, the first knock of your squad. The major spread from 12-18 known to them. It's their calling card, and they're pretty confident on their angles here as they look to converge on majority of Baad down in the valley here.
Nothing against Baad, but at the end of the day, like, you're going up against, you know, the team that's second place overall in the standings. You know what I mean? Like, that always will speak for itself. You as a team are currently lying down in the bottom half, like a good 13th place or so. You do not need this kind of engagement. You need to get the hell out of there, but they're not listening. Zai gets knocked down.
And as every minute transpires, they find themselves deeper in the depths of 12-18's grasp. It's not looking too good for them on this revive, but with these crucial moments, you know 12-18 will be crunching down. Even Zako on half health, pushing out in the open, and they want to complete this. Nectar, it's your job to just disengage. Don't even try to clutch it up from up top. You need to leave. You need to leave.
It's too late.
Yeah.
Man, you know, like, it's too late to apologize. Baad are just going to have to try and fight this out. Maybe 12-18 will make a mistake, but I can't really see that happening because they're now all starting to swarm in around that building.
Yeah, I doubt this one will equate to the underdog story. Almost getting popped there as Zayed is cooking one. Muhammad did provide a little bit of coverage, though, on that back side, so they couldn't shift up. Utility with no connection down into the stairway.
And now Rogue up on the middle part of the stairs. Gonna see, goes for the pre-fire. He's in FPP mode. That's gonna be heard out, spotted out by Zayed. Molotov being thrown in amongst the smokes. Really great play from 12-18 to get the reposition.
And now Bandita is here as well. Every moment as this transpires, we said it'll be more in the favor of 12-18. Muhammad down to 1 drop of health there. And I don't think meds are in his favor. Absolutely none. You got a shotty with you. Well, hopefully your aim is true.
Yeah, Tulika was washing the windows on the side of that building. Now it's Bandita 77. They're going for the edge cusp. They're trying to just bait a little bit the 2 remaining members of Bandita. Now Rogue goes in further around. I don't really know what 12-18 are doing. It seems like they're swarming without actually going for the full commit. And I kind of think that's going to get some time's ticking, my friends. Yeah. The longer you leave it to engage, the longer you leave out to close out the fight, the more time you're wasting to rotate.
Yeah, being a little bit cautious here. We got 2 perched on the ledge at the adjacent building, noting Muhammad's head here. That's what they were doing, hopping around, trying to see the location from outside. I don't even think they're aware of the windows. You could just go back a little bit. You can shoot up in the window if you're noting him there. And it looks like finally Rogi notes that. Yeah, just fall back and shoot him instead of trying to hold up on the ledge there.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a knockdown. Is it going to be a second one? Indeed. That leaves Baad down to just one remaining player, Nectar. About time they close out those 2 kills inside that building. They'll need to look forward. I think Zach had an idea that Nectar is there. I couldn't see any other reason why he was diverting away from that fight.
It looks like he was trying to do what Rogi did and angle towards the window there. Why are you here, Nectar? Haven't been disappointed much, but right now I'm disappointed. Why are you here? I'm confused.
You know what? Jack.
Yeah, there it is.
I was gonna say we'll say a prayer for him, but I think it's a little bit too late.
By the time I even folded my hands, he would have been folded himself. So you're not getting a prayer for that one. I'm mad at you.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go a bit north.
Don't want to get Jack angry, guys. Oh.
Mad at you. What was that? You should have been gone. All right, we're gonna go a bit north over here. This is actually the southeastern edge. Yalla out in the open field. Looks like we got caught up by Team Frag here. Don't have to maintain our distance here out in the open. Feeling like we're a bit vulnerable here, but Zero will be linking up to that compound just adjacent here.
Okay, so let's have a look at how these teams have been rotating. Alpha, once again, got a nice spread, but they are in around Hacienda and San Martin, so that's something we'll have to be careful of. Although I'm saying that we are seeing the fight between Alliance and ARB Champions. ARB Champions did rotate close by, but they've got one member down at the hands of Alliance. That's going to be good for them, but will they be able to clap back? Ruder gets put down to very low health and was able to get knocked down onto Omar, though.
I just don't understand this push that ARB did into the direct center of the compound here. You knew he was here, and you drove actually past the buildings. He's going to suffer you a bit, knocking a member and almost getting that utility connection. He is by himself, but Headache the Beamer will be coming in with the clutch movements here. Hopefully, he can suppress them before Sunrise is able to get here.
I was just going to say, Sunrise is flanking from the side. Let's see if he can sunset the fight in the favor of the Alliance. Push back the members of ARB Champions, of course. Both teams now down to 3 players. In theory, ARB Champions do have a higher chance of getting any kind of revives off. However, all it's going to take is a couple of grenades in the direction of those buildings, and they could find themselves under a lot of pressure.
Now, although they're not able to connect right now on ARB, I would like to see some suppressive fire, even if the shots don't ring out true. You have a man, Sunrise, flanking out in the open, and if they just look to the left, he could have been dropped there. Don't let him flank for free. Keep them busy and engage, and now Sunrise is indeed engaging those shots off of that alternate angle.
Yeah, Omar managed to dance away, jump in and around and outside those bullets. The 2 other members of the Alliance decided just to kind of go, look, we'll disengage away. I don't mind that. I really like that, to be honest. I think that's intelligent play from Alliance. Not something we see often from them, but it's refreshing.
Yeah, and they're pretty well off in the center of the zone. They have more room to operate over to the east. No need to lose a substantial amount of your team after already losing Pro Lord here.
Exactly, especially because they know as time goes on, as the blue zone closes in, teams are going to get closer to around the center of the circle. They were on the low ground. It's in the open. They could easily have been third party if they stayed there for too long.
What's going on here, Oxen? I don't know if you're okay, man. What's been happening? Last match, you kamikaze outside the zone. It was a dope finish on Rooter with the vehicle, and now you're removing yourself from the board. I hope you get well soon.
Tochka G, also on their own, on the east side in around El Azhar. I'd like to see all of them disengage away from El Azhar a little bit sooner rather than later. Maybe send 2 players up around the Cruzoval area on the high ground in around that. That'd be a nice preparation for the next phase as the blue zone is closing in. But right now, they're sitting very pretty on the east side of the circle. Yeah,
Tochka G knows something about something here. Mirroring their efforts last match, west side, they were clear on it for a couple zones, and here they are about 1/3 of the eastern edge to themselves. Could it be a similar finish for the Queens of the Edge?
Who knows? I've got a question for you, Jack. I know it's completely off topic.
Yes, sir.
But it made me think because you said Tochka G. Pineapple on pizza?
Why did that make you think? Oh, because of pineapple? Are you serious, dude? Are you serious? Sir? I was like, what? Oh.
Gotta test it, brother. Gotta test it.
Oh man, people are like, "What's happening?" Wait to do that to me. Absolutely not. By the way, absolutely not.
Okay.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
We'll continue that
Yeah,
conversation
we'll
later.
talk
Sorry.
more. Pineapple juice? Oh yeah. Okay, anyways, so Team Fade over here now shooting down the shots at compound ARB there after the Alliance was able to disengage. We're gonna have a little bit of wild shots out here in the open. Krill will be recovered there by Yasha as ARB disengages.
Now, an area which I should have mentioned, and I definitely feel a little bit bad that I didn't mention, that was more heavily in the circle, but it's still inside it because we saw it shift to the west. Crater Fields. Such a prime hotspot for teams to hold on to. Yes, you got deep downhill should the circle shift away, but for phase 2, it's a really nice place to hold on to. I'm surprised nobody went there.
Yeah, this zone is nearly about half. Everything to the west is completely clear here. Looks like the real deal. Also, putting down shots on Team Pain here. Pain was heavily focused on ARB's disengagement and ended up getting tagged by the real deal.
Yeah, the real deal. They lost Azzy early on, but still Haksha, Albi, and the daddy we call Daddy in a nice spot outside Hacienda. It's a warehouse. It's out in the open. It can be a little bit risky to disengage from, but for now, because it's quite well inside the circle, it should fare them pretty well.
And so, geez, ARB just can you hold still? This is now your 4th engagement now. Tron the laser from a great distance, whether it's an AWM or the M44 power, he'll be able to laser Hellboy down there, and Coffin does confirm.
Omar sees Tron. He's gonna go for the spray. Gets a spray on the Tron. Is he gonna try and confirm the kill? Nearly does. Will Tron be able to crawl away? Maybe he will, but now Omar has to turn his attention onto Ray's head. So nice.
Oh, look at Headache!
Oh no!
On the opposite side, like you said, a smart disengagement for them. They actually went deeper. We literally called it, went deeper into the zone, went and set up shop and says, yeah, we'll continue this, but on our own terms there, and are able to third party themselves a kill there.
Indeed, indeed. Prime opportunity taken away. I do worry about Alliance because they are split 1-1-1. Let's see how it pays off. See how it goes. Of course, they are trying to spread themselves as far throughout the circle as possible. Tochka G still yet to rotate into circle, but they're going really safely up on towards the northeast side, even going pretty much through / around Tora Ahumada to get in on the hills, probably near where behind SWAT 69 are.
Pretty insane. Everybody just in this southeastern to centralized pocket.
Yeah.
And a Frag over here getting some kills on WaWa. Looks like vehicular explosions. Not going to bode too well here for WaWa in the late stages. Just Steve at the distance. Going to have to clutch it up against the rest of Frags there on the backside of that hill.
Man, WaWa not having a good break in these games. 2 knockdown. Frag getting good job, leaving Steve on his own. Let's see if he can become the Steve Jobs of PUBG Mobile and pull an absolute disgustingly good performance out of the bag.
And I'm actually liking what he's doing. He's going to have to disengage. I don't know if you'll be able to get some resurrections there. You're putting yourself into a cross angle. Maybe they're busy getting their own revives, but it might be time for you to just skate off there. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Hell, even moving away like that is incredibly risky. Yeah, he is going into a bit of a safe area, but... Okay, he was actually going. Steve was in some way looking to go towards a revive. One member got confirmed, that was Cremo. Impact is still knocked down. This is... Okay, look. I don't agree with that at all. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's doing out here. Hopefully the Alliance won't be on. Okay, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Like, I'm literally shaking my head. Jack, I'm literally shaking my head. Like, it's...
Guys. Okay, alright, so we're going to be looking down South Etsy. Yeah, and you hate it more so when you say it, too, because it's like...
I know, right?
I told you not to!
Yeah, like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but...
Exactly, yeah.
Don't be, in the words of Filthy Franco, don't be stupid, you know? But, yeah, just amateur play didn't work out. They got taken down. WaWa will have to refresh themselves for game 3 all the while. We have a lot of teams on the southeast side of the circle. 12-18, Yalla, NASR, iKurd, and even Totem.
Yeah, and it's like the Team Frag over here is able to get a knock on Alliance. barely making it to this compound, but I like how they did move down. They got their kill. They saw multiple teams up there up north, SWAT 69 and ARB, and they decided to move on down to cleaner pastures.
And because Sunrise to join up with Ruder, the revive is going to able to come out, so that's good. But the circle shifts up towards the north west, and guess who's there? Guess who's there, Jack? Tochka G! God damn it, boy!
Right
God
there in their
damn it.
spot, huh? Always find a spot, they do. Well, learn up there high northeast. The rotational game has just been phenomenal. I really can't critique it. It's been phenomenal. Either coming in late, even their disengagement from Pachinki last match when it went up north, they were on the southern edge. They waited to a later point in time and then went clear west. I was like, wow, that is actually beautiful rotations there. So
that shows me that they know a lot, not only about the map but about the other teams. That's what that shows me.
Not just that quick crash for center. You change it up depending on the teams and the way the zone shifts. That's the mark of a zone reader.
Definitely a strong IGL coming out from Tochka G. Strong team overall, but now look at the teams rotating down from the southeast. Alliance have been able to get in together. Alpha Legends also managing to get through the remaining member of Pain, also getting into the circle. Frag and iKurd, I think they're going to be the two next teams to maybe engage, but hey, look, iKurd just diverting a little bit away from Frag.
Yeah, iKurd and Frag down there, down south in the eastern edge. I'm hoping SWAT 69, they have a true choke point here. Elevated, eastern edge of the zones, and teams coming from southeast and true east, even northeast, if they catch 12-18. This is what choke points are made out of. Get your kills while it's not a direct push.
And I like the fact that there's Coursera outside the circle, looking to camp even more and give information to the rest of the team. So that's really good stuff from SWAT 69. They do need an incredibly good result because they are right now find themselves in roughly about 9th or 11th place.
Yeah, and it looks like a team moving to share this elevated point might be Totem. Totem was able, in the form of Wasted, to clutch up 3rd place last match. Coursera, you need to take them off the board here and make sure you guys are off that bubble.
Someone might say they might need to knock them off their totem pole.
Yes, it hits. I love the clean ones, guys. I love the clean ones. I'm a man of simple taste. Looks like
full of dad jokes, man.
I love it. Me too, man. Yogan over here looking like he wants to crest the mound. Don't know if he heard the footsteps or what, but something signified him to wrap back around with the rest of the squad here. And unbeknown to him, maybe that's a good move there. Looks like they are aware of him. Indeed. Coffin just staring towards that team. They're going to be aware of their presence here. Still on that eastern edge. Hopefully they can get those kills that we talked about.
I like the fact that Totem haven't gone full sending it, right? They are aware that they could easily be camped on, so they're kind of taking it easy. Of course, because it is bumpy ground, their rotation has to be slow anyway, but they're not being, stupidly aggressive. They are being clever. They're playing the field, the area around them intelligently.
And there it is, the first of their eastern knocks onto iKurd. Just below them towards water treatment, looking like a confirmation is in sight. Return shots onto Tron to keep him at bay, but you've got your own direct and ARB pushing up. How can you be in another fight here?
I'll tell you what, it's going to be tough for iKurd. ARB champions, I believe, have been able to take down a member of iKurd. So that puts iKurd down to 2 players. Just like that, you just got stabbed in the back, my friend.
Yes, and 3 Zeus has to be careful as well. He is the last and sole effort here of ARB champions on the literal blue edge, literally a corner of his building over here, staved off. Or actually, no, not even that building. He's gonna have to come on the open. Getting tagged to low amounts by iKurd. That is a cursed zone for you, not a pocket in the zone, forcing you out here, but what a blessed pipeline here that he's able to prone behind. Please tell me you have meds.
Yeah, he does. He has 5 first aid kits. So that will keep him going.
Well earned, and hopefully
he's not out of the woods just yet, or he's not even out of the water treatment just yet.
Not even.
Have to try and treat his position very carefully. Be incredibly aware of where Dyla and Browan. If I was iKurd, I would look to just go engage, hard engage, take him out, and then look ahead. Indeed, Dyla takes down 3 Zeus, and that's the end of ARB.
But they felt like they pressed him. Now they're the ones being pressed by Tron and the gang up north. And cresting the border to their south will be Frag here. But a clearance somehow. Let me tell you what the Alliance are about. Let me tell you what the Alliance are about. You cannot even have your own private party. They're going to invite themselves and ruin everybody's day. Unreal.
Like they just managed to crash the party at the right time and go, wait, you forgot about us? No, we're here, guys. Yeah, we're here.
It's just Owen Wilson and oof, that's not gonna work because I forgot his name. But Wedding Crashers.
Oh no!
Oh man, that was a failed attempt.
Wilson and Vince
I could have.
Vaughn?
Yes. Owen Wilson and Vince Vaughn over there. If you don't get that reference, sorry guys in different regions. But yes, anyways, they're Wedding Crashers here, crashing every party that they're not invited to. As a Frag are gonna have to disengage this mound here. Hamadi actually going into the smoke, looking to revive outplay there. The Alliance looks like we're moving towards at least angling this for more shots.
Yeah, Modi just managing to get close. Get the revives off, keep Frag in this game. Has him from NASR still holding on. He's going to rotate hard shift in from the south side. The real deal are coming in on the west. Alpha Legends in the compound in the center circle. Tochka G, they're looking for 12-18. They're outside the circle, but they need to engage and fight their way through.
I don't know. This might be a little bit of a different scene for them. Ever so dominant on their edges of the zone previously, but now we've alerted both TRD and to our north 12-18, and now we're the team that's farthest outside of the zone. Do have great elevation, but still, the likes of the teams that you're trying to, and Alpha Legends as well. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but Alpha Legends, I don't think Alpha Legends have as much information over the teams up there on top of the hill as you might think.
True, they're probably not peeking any window. The shutters are probably closed there. It looks like on the eastern edge, the Alliance somehow crosswaying all the way to the north part of this party onto Tron. He was the most southern player from Coffin and the gang's team, Swat 69 here. As they're holding this eastern edge, he will fall to his post.
And the circle has hard shifted down the southwest. It bounces like a ping pong ball through this map as it is going to kind of favor the team of Tochka G again.
And Totem being beat down and pressed on the northern edge of the zone by Swat 69, who needs to move up as well. Hopefully you can survive on this eastern edge. And on the western edge, it looks like that CIS battle looks like it's going to be popping off just a bit with Tochka.
Yeah, Tochka G, you've got to be very careful because going down the hill, you're going to be wide open to the likes of the real deal and even Alpha Legends. But Albie got knocked down. Hackshot is there up on top of the hill down the south side of this circle. Could pinch Anvern if he can see her in his sights. But right now, Tochka G just looking so impressive.
Yeah, that pillar that they were holding is a bit amazing for them. 12-18 wasn't able to wrap around on their heels, having to go over more into the east and might deliver themselves into Yalla's grasp. And I think we're going to find that out and split the difference towards Alpha Legends. You can't keep rotating. Sometimes you got to crash. And Alpha, you're the ones.
Oh, you're the one I want. You are the one I want. Woo, who was Roach just trying to hold on now? Tulika crashes in. So it's going to be a battle of fun. It's going to be party time and the grenades are coming out.
They just weren't equipped for this. They weren't expecting it, but you gotta roll with the punches. But the punches are strong here. Dual tri-nades coming out from Alpha, and then the immediate beams onto Bandita on the flank, trying to clutch it up, trying to clear a pathway. I don't blame you for this. You know your teammates are pinched on that western wing here, and you want to clear it on your own, but it's tough. Half health and 3 all around you. Shot to Ur, coming out the door, and Bandita loses the trade with Mirza there. He does buy his teammates time to heal up, and hopefully they can preserve his health like he did for them. No, not happening. Vehicular confirmation.
Yeah, now Tulika and Rogue, they're thrown onto the horse's barn. But you know what? The stables might not be so stable for 12-18. Do they have the horseshoe look in their hands, or are they going to be put down like a pile of dung.
And Raymond looking for that next building. The future of the zone there as 12-18 will have to press beyond. Kaido does get the knock over here on the front side for Rogi. Tulika hits and connected. Low amounts of health in the blue zone will catch him slipping. Rogi one drop of health, and that is it. 12-18 with unfortunate circumstances will be removed in 8th.
But you know what? Alpha aren't out of the woods yet. Guess who's there to pick up the pieces? Pineapple and the RESQ. Tochka G. Looking for a member of Alpha indeed. Mirza gets taken out, leaving Shador and Riemann along. No, just Shador and Riemann, the last 2 players up for Alpha Legends.
And actually, Tochka did steal one of those kills, I believe, collecting the last one on Rogi. Pev on the immediate front here. Going to be sending utility. Good move. You cannot meet him at the top. You don't note his presence, so we're going to send utility while we're blind here.
Hack shot. The second Irish god. The boyo from Ireland. Going to look for the Alliance, but the blue zone's closing in the next 20 seconds. The Alliance will have to be aware because they have to try and make their way into circle. Look at that open field in front of them. Barely any trees, barely any rocks. They do have a couple of vehicles, but with so many teams around them, they can get shot at the drop of a hat.
And somehow Sunrise, still connecting with the shots, does suffer a retaliatory knock. Hack shot, your boy up on top of the hill would be one of the closest towards the Alliance. If you let them move forward north, you're going to set yourself up behind their path as Sunrise looks to collect the zone. That belongs to Tochka once more.
That was always going to be risky and bold move from Sunrise. Going in on the boogie like that, you're rarely protected. It's harsh, gets knocked down, but now Headache has a vision. Headache's low in health. Amber is ready. And oh my god, just like that, that's the end of Alliance.
It is a clearance sale. Even this new zone is still theirs to behold. Noting 0-360 check. Full squad, able to comb through every last grain of sand here on Miramar. The zone is tiny. You can see from blue coast to blue coast. No need to move any further. Just Jana remains in the clouds, and this will be a two-peat. It must be.
It is. The blue zone's closing in. Jano has nowhere to go, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. It's just a matter of trying to deny the point in my eyes. Okay, looking for Amber, but it's just too late. Jano goes down, and Tochka G take second chicken dinner in a row. What another dominating, confident, rotationally expert, seasonal, whatever word you want to use.
Just good.
Just good.
Well-rounded, well-earned. Didn't lose a single player on the affair. 17 kills. That's going to give you got 33 points last match, and now you racked up 37. You started today with 27. In 2 games alone, you've beat 1 day of scores. In one game alone, technically.
Yeah, in 1 game alone, they beaten yesterday's scores for not yesterday's, but the day one of Group B for the 4 games. But you know what? We had talked about, we noted that Tochka B had showed signs of potential in day 1.
Right.
But maybe it just took them the 4 games from day 1 to get information and to then play based off how the other teams played. And you know what? They're certainly proving things in day 2. 2 chicken dinners in a row, dominating performance, and also the ability to be aggressive and frag out, going down that hill on the west side of the circle that they had. Really intelligent play.
Yeah, students of the game all around. It looks like nobody coming in today in that previous top 4 did make top 4 here today. There's going to be some cosmic shifts. There is going to be some cosmic shifts. So we're going to take a look at that. Hopefully the weatherman can give us the forecast, the roundabouts after this. Stand by for game 3.
like in these games to knock down Frag, getting good job leaving Steve on his own. Let's see if he can become the Steve Jobs of PUBG Mobile and pull an absolute disgustingly good performance out of Baad.
I'm actually liking what he's doing. He's going to have to disengage. I don't know if you'll be able to get some resurrections there. You're putting yourself into a cross angle. Maybe they're busy getting their own revives, but it might be time for you to just skate off there. Yeah, not at all.
Yeah, it's not worth it. Hell, even moving away like that is incredibly risky. Yeah, he is going into a bit of a safe area, but... Okay, he was actually going. Steve was in some way looking to go towards a revive. One member got confirmed that was Primo. Impact is still knocked down. This is... Okay, look. I don't agree with that at all. I really don't.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what he's doing out here. Hopefully the Alliance won't be on. Okay, yeah. There you go.
Like, I'm literally shaking my head. Jack, I'm literally shaking my head. Like, it's...
Guys. Okay, alright, so we're going to be looking down south. Yeah, and you hate it more so when you say it, too, because it's like...
I know, right?
I told you not to!
Yeah, like, I don't want to sound like an asshole, but...
Exactly, yeah.
Don't be, in the words of Filter Franco, don't be stupid, you know? But, yeah, just amateur play didn't work out. They got taken down. WaWa will have to refresh themselves for game 3 all the while. We have a lot of teams on the southeast side of the circle. 12-18, Yalla, NASR, iKurd, and even Totem.
Yeah, and it's like the team Frag over here is able to get a knock on Alliance. Barely making it to this compound, but I like how they did move down. They got their kill. They saw multiple teams up there up north, Swat 69 and ARB, and they decided to move on down to cleaner pastures.
And because Sunrise to join up with Ruder, the revive is going to able to come out, so that's good. But the circle shifts up towards the north west, and guess who's there? Guess who's there, Jack? Tochka G! God damn it, boy!
Right
God
there in their
damn
spot, huh? Always find a spot, they do. Well earned up there high northeast. The rotational game has just been phenomenal. I really can't critique it. It's been phenomenal. Either coming in late, even their disengagement from Pachinki last match when it went up north, they were on the southern edge. They waited to a later point in time and then went clear west. I was like, wow, that is actually beautiful. We are back and ready to crack off the third game of day 2 rescue tournament semi-finals group B. What you got for us? What are we looking at?
Would you like the weather report, Jack?
Oh, everybody tune in. Can we go live to the rock?
So the weather report is, I'll tell you what, things are definitely heating up and the temperature has risen, especially for the likes of Tochka B. So I'm going to read out what, and again, exclamation mark or, asterisk speculation. The overall standings are this. Tochka in first with 97 points. 12-18 in second with 87 points. Payne in third with 83. Frag in fourth with 74. Alpha in fifth with 64. iKurd in sixth with 55. The Real Deal in seventh with 53. The Alliance in 8th with 47, NASR in 9th with 42, Totem in 10th with 41, Swat in 11th with 39, and WaWa in 12th with 38.
Oh, wow. So Yalla still down there, even though they had, second place that match?
Yeah.
Still such a great deficit.
I might be forgetting about Yalla, so apologies about that. I'll try to count that in because we hadn't seen a shift, but...
Right.
They could come into play, but either way, I'll have a look at it as we get through this game because the playing trajectory is very much on the west side of the map, Jag. It's going from north to south. Does make it quite a bit harder to get to the likes of Pavosa Cement Factory Castle. It's actually quite the opposite to what we saw, I believe, yesterday.
For the first half? Or yesterday.
No, for yesterday's
Brisa?
Group A, I think it was more on the East Coast.
Yeah, it
So
was
it's harder to
indeed.
get into West Coast, so it's
Yep.
the opposite.
Indeed, it was the exact opposite. I remember some early Cement Factory fights, but it looks like that Dobro is going to hold to two strong and fragging teams over here. I believe this is what we saw on the first day as well. So again, another set of teams who will not cede to the other.
Sorry, Jag, just I'm actually doing the calculations of Yalla, so feel free to keep going.
Okay, so I did know they have about 25 points today. So whatever they had before, they got 20 in the
No,
last one.
they're actually during joint 12th with WaWa at 38 points.
So looking at WaWa here with Pain, they have to be careful. They need to survive the Pain onslaught. Pain has a little bit more flexibility. They could probably get away with just being middle of the pack these last two games. It's WaWa who needs to overcome and overachieve here to dislodge some of their competitors about 5 spots above them. In the zone, of course, shifting to the east side. It's like, cool, plane path is there. I'm going here. I'm going to centralize myself around south of Cosmodrome.
Now, that kind of circle does make it quite a good bit easier for the teams up in the north and down in the south. So iKurd, Totem, Tochka G, Alliance, even the real deal and NASR, they're going to have a pretty easy rotating. But it's definitely going to be harder for Alpha Legends and 1218 and even Swat 69.
And ARB suffering an early knock over on the southwestern edge here. I believe 12-18 able to connect on a Boomar, and he should be a flush out there. Looks like Zeus thinking about cresting that edge to revive him, but it might be better for you to disengage. They could have thirsted him if they want to. This might be a bit of a bait action here.
I'm still trying to understand the drop from ARB. I really am. You know, where was it meant to be?
Yeah.
It just... Yeah.
I can tell you.
It just doesn't make sense.
I was gonna say their location, their compass must be off today. Just pinballing themselves around teams and landing locations. I've seen them in a lot of excessive fights that they weren't really winning. So yeah, you guys got to pinpoint a location.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel that it's a bit of a weak drop from ARB champions, but I'll see how it goes. SWAT 69 now getting pretty close to Smoker and Hellboy.
The majority of teams outside the zone here do have their own little nest, of course, except for that double up in Dobro, but everyone else pretty clear and not moving with a great rush to the zone. And I'm actually not mad at that. Maybe let those who are already up and above and in the zone thin out a bit on the edges so you can possibly move forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to get an idea. I'm trying to predict where teams might look to try and kind of rotate and go. We are seeing kind of early game passiveness overall, just a couple of knockdowns. Actually, only one player has actually gone down in total. So, you know, get an idea. Everybody seems to be playing their own game and respecting each other. We know Vikendi is compound heavy, so you're going to kind of dance around from compound to compound, just trying to hold on to your own game, especially for the early parts of this game. Just this circle is going to definitely play a huge part when we get into the next, basically, 2 to 4 or 5 minutes of this game when the blue zone closes.
Absolutely. And it's like Tochka G, probably the most centralized compound holding team. And that is something that's being proven so as they gain more and more confidence. But even before landing in places like Kad or Pachinki, that takes a confident in a successful team. And they are not stopping that here at Cosmodrome.
True, but they don't necessarily want to stay in Cosmodrome because Cosmodrome, a little bit like, I suppose, a little bit like Watertown and Runes, although not as bad. Disengaging away from Cosmodrome can be incredibly tricky, so just be aware of that, Tochka.
You heard him. So it looks like we're going to hear. You heard him on the western edge here. It looks like Totem will be wrapping around high north. I'm digging it, but what I'm not digging, if you are, WaWa is getting dropped here. Cremo knocked to his knees by Krill at the distance. That's going to achieve probably a confirmation or maybe even another kill. He's the farthest extended player from the rest of his pack. You see them making designs here. They don't want to lose a player this early. They know they're on the bubble, but they might be risking another suffered knock here.
Yeah, I forget if it was them last game, but just don't go. Let them go down. Stay as a 3-man team. You know, you can easily get a super strong result disengaging down the south side of Dobbermesa. Head towards Movatris at VR and then wrap around and maybe go into the circle via the south side of the circle. Hell, they could even look to get a boat and wrap around in the water. It's unorthodox, but it can work.
Yeah, probably a lot of teams not thinking about that too much. Wargame was able to put some suppressive shots on Yasha, and now he's driving. I don't know if it was enough. That team is used to fight and heat. He is going to actually make it to the side of Cremo with minimal shots and minimal damage taken here. Looks like Rob.
Bold move.
Yeah.
It's one thing to get the revive, but it's another thing, like, look at that vehicle.
Where do you go? Look at that vehicle.
Like,
boom.
Yeah, it's so now, instead of one player being knocked down and pinched, now there's two players. What's the point? What's the benefit? Absolutely nothing, WaWa. You gotta think of the late game.
Yeah, and I'll let you stay here and call this one. I'm going over to the center mask like SWAT 69 and engaging here towards AR. How? ARB, stay out of the way, damn it. How's it looking over there, man? Oh, goodness. Wow.
Oh, my lord. Yep.
Is Payne and WaWa over there still dancing off?
Literally just took down the two players with that vehicle blown up because it was smoking, but it wasn't actually blown up. They got near the vehicle. Payne took them out, and just like that, WaWa down to two players. Look, man, I don't want to get too frustrated, but this is tournament. Don't make stupid decisions like that, guys. Simple as that.
Yo, y'all making him mad, and I'm glad you stayed there because I did just suffer a crash here. So you can continue to tell me. But y'all better watch out.
So
He's
now
pissed.
Alpha Legends, they've gone closer to SWAT 69, I believe. They got a knockdown onto one member across the river. Indeed, they did. But now they might be looking to go for the push. How will Razed and Tron go? We got two members of Alpha Legends crashing in on the compound. Riemann looking for it along with the one and only Kato. Kato gonna wrap around. Gonna go by the side of the wall. Tron's there, but Razed is waiting. Trying to hold on. Let's see, it's going to come down to the 2v2. Tron put down to about 30 health. And now the cavalry has arrived at the hands of the two other players of Alpha, leaving as a full squad. Going up against the two members of SWAT 69. Razed gets knocked down. Tron is pinched. This isn't looking good for SWAT 69. Oh no, they need this good result. They need to survive this fight, but I tell you what, if they do, it'll be at a miracle play as Tron tries to hold on, but he gets taken out.
No such thing. Good overload efforts there, and it looks like everyone here on the immediate reduced to ashes, Coffin, the last and sole effort, surviving off far west of Mont Kresnik there. Hopefully you can maintain your peace out of this action hotbed southeast. Another one erupting. What is this? 12-18 taking on rotational knocks on iKurd, delivering them into Team Frag. Parallel rotations. Luckily for you, Frag, you're actually not that lucky getting tagged up here. Frag didn't have any shooters. Complete 4-on-4 whips as Rowan gets taken out of the vehicle. They did park on top of the hill just to get you. Look at the sharks swarming around you here. It is wild. And the hills will be coming the real deal as well. Nothing is safe and nothing is kosher here.
That was like a well choreographed dance on the map as teams just kind of pirouetted around each other on the rotations, going at the same time, but in the end, it very much goes against both the Alliance and iKurd, as the Alliance does lose one player, leaving them once again down to just 3 members up. Headache does clap back, getting a knockdown onto the member of 12-18, but the revive should come through pretty successfully, all the while NASR and iKurd engaging as NASR rotates through on the side of the river.
Yeah, this is the second half of iKurd. Didn't get caught up in that rotation. Maybe they can turn about fair play onto NASR coming out of that valley there, tagging him up, pressing him behind the 2-stack building. That duo is going to have to maintain their posture while the rest skate off into the distance.
Well, they can just go down by the river and hug that hillside, should I speak, and that's exactly what they are doing. So nice stuff from NASR. It was a little bit of a harsh rotation, but they're making it count for now. But they're going right into the hands of Frag in the center of the circle. Frag are waiting, Frag are ready, and Hixie gets a knockdown onto Roxon.
NASR from one hotbed to the next. It's unreal here from southeast to center. All teams caught in rotational shots. You even saw teams like 12-18 being pushed to prone positions in the corner of the zone by Alliance. And here's another team suffering some of that damage. Splitting up just a bit. Sending 2 across the frozen lake river here, and 2 on the original point. Should be engaging with Alpha at that distance. You don't want to send people over here for free.
Such a great position by Frag going for that 2-6. This should work out for now. But Ninja claps back. Nice knockdown. And Modi's just going to have to try and get the revive off. Now Frag might have to think, okay, should we join up as a full team and engage heavily onto NASR? NASR looking confident. However, the angles from the 2 members of Frag across the bridge might come into play.
I'm just really confused by this push-up. We were fighting here with Alpha Legends before. This is a complete and exposed cross angle. You threw half of your team over towards the NASR here. You're putting yourself on the backside for coverage, but Alpha's been here since the beginning.
Indeed, indeed. I don't think Outplay is doing actually much inside the house. I would like to see him maybe be a bit aggressive going across the other side, not joining up with Hixie, but going on the other side of the bridge where Freak is. But he could just be playing scout. He could be just protecting himself. They're aware. They're trying to hold all angles. We did see phase 2 centering up quite nicely, so there still is that river in play. Jag, we still could see a hard shift going west on the left side of that river.
Yeah, you got to be ready for it. Never feel too safe. Never plant down your flag too securely. You might have to uproot, dip, and shoot. And we're going to go over to that southwest corridor. Looks like Coffin getting a bit closer to Team Baad. Baad in a bad way on their leaderboards. We're going to have to come out and impress for these next 2 matches here.
So close all the while. Tochka B, they've held themselves inside Cosmodrome. It's working out for now, but look at the amount of teams around them. They've got Alpha, Yalla, Totem.
Yeah.
This is not going to be easy for them should they have to disengage based on their circle shift. I feel like they're going to have to go quite aggressive.
Yeah, and I don't think it'll be as clean as the way it unfolded last match in Miramar, but they were able to hold out being the most northern team that match. Maybe they can replicate that success here today, or here on this map.
Yeah, of course. You know, and they could rotate. They could go on the north side of Cosmodrome and shift around on the edge of the circle that way. So, you know, there is that potential. I'm just saying when you're looking down the south, they've allowed too many teams to get closer because they didn't disengage away.
Yeah, so how are you going to get out of this one if needed? They like to hit those external rotations, but even those have been claimed. You're going to have to barrel through, I guess. You're going to have to shoot through. You allow them into your house. Yeah, now you got to exterminate. You let them here.
While 12-18 and iKurd are engaging onto each other, we've seen Karam, the last player up for iKurd, going to look to take him down, but in the end, it's just too much as 12-18 get another bunch of kills, and iKurd find themselves down and out once again. That's not going to be good for them, though, because they're 6th overall, potentially, speculatively, and about 10 points ahead of 8th or 9th place, so that's definitely not going to bode well for them in the overall standing.
Speaking of not boding well, Rob's attempting to throw utility into House NASR here, bouncing off the wall and almost taking himself down. As if you already didn't have a numbers disadvantage, being the only member here from WaWa, you're almost self-nading here, and they're going to take this time. NASR, you need to finish this off. You noted the opposition from the backside across the bridge from Frag. Don't let them set up camp here for Team WaWa.
Well, I don't know if they know that the 2 members that were across the river were actually okay. Yeah.
They got Robs. They did.
Why Robs? Just why? Please, I would love to know a reason why. I would just love to.
Oh, man. People got some explaining to do today, guys. Today, we need some explanation. And this is a little bit different than yesterday's semifinals final day. A lot of teams did press a little bit more aggressively, but they stayed true to the strats. It looks like people are panicking a bit.
Yeah, I think they are. And you know what? I'm trying not to be too critical because they're humans. The heat of the moment, your mind can get frazzled. But that's where you got to prepare yourself. That's where you got to be in the right mindset coming into these games. Otherwise, you can make those fumbling mistakes. You can make those rotations where you kind of look back and go, how the hell, why the hell did I do that? So all I ask is that WaWa learn from it. That's all.
Hey man, the mark for champion. I'm not sure exactly how they got here. Hopefully, they came across from an unbeknownst area. But to throw yourself out in the open there when Frag was already here holding down the opposite side, this is another toss into a cross angle here. Gotta be aware
So
of.
we've seen. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but we've seen Totem rotate near towards Tochka G, and Tochka G is being like, "You set him up, we'll knock him out." Good stuff from Tochka. They got 2 kills on the board.
Yeah, you said clear him out, and clear we shall. Is that all of Totem? Is that the pole erased?
Yep, that's Totem knocked down. The pole's being shut down. That's it. It's lying on the floor, ready to set up for the next game.
You know what is actually wild to say? That pain coming off that west side towards Tochka G. This favors Tochka, not just because of the land structure, but they have not lost a single fight and decisively eradicated them in the first qualifying match for semifinals B.
Yeah, true. Now, I would like to see Tochka use that north side of Cosmodrome rotation still inside the circle to wrap around and send two or one players forward. Kind of more on the east side in between Yalla and ARB. But right now, I think they're very confident in what they hold on to. And look, if you're confident at where you are, stick to that. Stick to your convictions. No point in rotating if you feel confident as a team where you are.
Yes, indeed. Stick to your guns. And speaking of guns, it looks like the real deal is going to have to beam at Zako. We saw the spread happening over here southeast for 12-18, trying to wrap around them, but they left poor little Zako alone. And Daddy said, if you leave the kids alone... Okay, that's not good. Anyways, Daddy's able to drop him down on that southeast angle, and Rogi will be trying to leave. Rogi,
I'm glad you stopped that. You know what?
Oh my Lanta.
He's not gonna stop fighting. He's not gonna stop shooting. He is ready to find the remaining players at 12-18. But Hackshot takes a little bit of damage. Hackshot goes down to around half health behind that rock. He goes. Daddy is still not going too far forward. The rotation from 12-18 are surprising the real deal a little bit. But look at Azzy. Look at Albie. They're ready. They're looking for him, and Hackshot gets knocked down onto Rogue.
Bandita causing these clouds to form, not able to put the most productive counter sprays, but it says, I'll at least toss this cloud formation for you. It did buy them a bit of a moment to not be completely thirsted, but Bandita said, that's all I'll give you, because I'm gone.
Yeah, no, that just leaves a real deal singing, Daddy, Daddy cool, Daddy, Daddy cool.
Oh my gosh, look at the zone staying true. Half of Cosmo in, and it looks like Tochka G gets to clear that north side. What a wild time.
I'm sorry, but Jack, like, what kind of sorcery is this? What kind of sorcery is this?
They can do no wrong. They can do no wrong. Let me see the amulet or the hex bag you got, because it is phenomenal and it doesn't miss. Wild.
It's like have they got the look of the Irish on their side?
I did. I don't. Are you coaching? What's happening? You or Six or Reese are coaching. One of y'all. Something's happening. It looks like
now, on the east side, ARB champions and Yalla, they're kind of engaging with each other. Smoker and Hellboy realizes that and actually disengages away. Clever play from ARB champions. Nice to see that reaction coming out. You are seeing Yalla going a little bit closer to the edge of the circle. The river is in play. Jag, we could still see, once again, a hard shift down onto the west side of the river. So let's take that into account. Let's not forget it.
Yeah, and it looks like just pain and bad holding on to hopes that it remains on that west side of the river, causing a bit of a yin-yang onto this circle here. And for once, I'm not mad at this ARB rotation. This I like, rotating around northeast to a northeastern zone here. Please keep doing this.
Well, yeah, it was because they kind of saw or got a little bit spotted out by Yalla, and they reacted incredibly quickly, and that results them in being put in a better position. So I like that coming out from them. Of course, we are going to see the blue zone now closing in, so we are seeing the teams getting tighter and tighter, closer together. We still have Anto from WaWa, so that's something to take into account. Look, let's not count them out just yet. 13 teams, 38 players left as Freak knocks down.
Were you trying to cook one onto Antho? because it didn't quite work out the way you suspected. All right, this bridge is just cursed. From being blessed up to Tochka G-Land, just cursed down this bridge. A lot of awkward movements here. I'm going to go take a look at the Alliance over here on that southeast, trying to clear off their calling card, clear off anything in and around their vicinity here, and they're pretty damn proficient at it. Yalla to the north have had a bit of a quiet run. They did snake their way up to second place in Miramar at the hands of Janu there, but other than that, been pretty quiet and ineffective on this board so far.
Good, yeah, 0 kills, but look, ready to set themselves up for the late game. And like I said, Jag, I called it. We could see a hard shift, and it shifts down to the west, sitting good for Pain, Baad. Hell, even Frag, NASR, and kind of WaWa, but look at the real deal. Instantly reacting. It's going to be risky. They're going for the bridge, but I wonder, do they know? What do they see? Look in my eyes. What do you see? A whole Frag team knocking them down.
Unreal. We do make it across the Lake Antho. Poor guy here is like, what's happening? I was chilling on a rock, and all of a sudden, a full real deal, a full real package obliterates me and removes me from the board. Is Frag coming across the bridge as well? Looks like we are going to be wrapping around just a bit. Luckily for us, Alpha Legends is busy to the north with ARB. They were holding us down here for such a while. ARB, I was just crediting you on the rotations. How did you get thrusted into this mayhem? Alpha Legends 2 and 2 literally will be surrounding them as 3 Zeus has to deal with 2 of them in Raymond and Kaito here. The Flames of War.
Here's the thing, I don't mind because it's over a compound on the edge of the circle. So go hard, go home, crash the compound, go in. Yalla and Alliance, they are engaging on each other. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on that, but this fight between Alpha and ARB champions are still holding out. Being very careful with 3 Zeus gets knocked down.
And looks like Yalla coming in off of the eastern heels will be able to third party this. We saw Mirza outside, not able to react in time. That felt like a day as Zana stared down the 3-part scope and helped to eradicate ARB from the board. Are they next on your dinner plate? Alpha Legends, you have them weakened, and Janu will crash the wall there. We're designing it.
Yeah, indeed. And now Zana goes through. Zero and Rage is going to follow up. But they are in the open. They've got to go in. They cannot allow Alpha Legends to revive themselves up. And now it comes in Zana. Alpha Legends will hear the footsteps. They'll hear the sound of the vehicles. They've got to be prepared. It's 3 against 4 as Jano going in. But is he going too hard? Too much on his own? No, he's wrapping around. He has Zana by his side. Rage and Zero on the other side of the building.
Nice use of the ramp to get some information. Did note Raymond coming up as well, and that allows for the molly to be pretty true, dropping him down to, you literally see him running past by my screen, on fire in the next window, but they're keeping him at bay in the distance. I think Pain spraying shots. They've been watching this Eastern battle for a minute. They're trying to keep them all at bay and weaken. Yalla first floor, Alpha Legends up above, another strafe off the ramp. We're doing acrobatics and aerials with the guns here, huh? Is that what it's about, Yalla? Looking to dislodge Alpha from the second floor here.
Hey, this is turning into a little bit of a clown fest, but you don't want to be the clown for your team as Faker gets knocked down, leaves Riemann on his own. Is he going to try and get into the clown car and disengage away, or is he going to keep this fight going? I think he is. He's running rings around, but in the end, it's just too much, and he gets taken out. Alpha Legends, wipe.
Well earned for Yalla to time that third-party cleanup and then design their own push. Not too far outside the zone, but we have a river here to cross.
Indeed, indeed. But they still do stay as a full squad. Let's not forget that. 4 members up. That's going to be maximum power, maximum potential. Frag down on the south side of the circle, holding their own. You have Pain, Tochka G. Well, Tochka G, they're a little bit split up. I kind of worry about them, especially Amvern, but we know that's what they do right. We've seen them in previous games. Amvern kind of splits up, and that's good for an IGL to do because she can actually communicate that information to the rest of the team and lead their position based on that. The trust, the coordination, it shows.
Yeah, and it looks like the rest of Tochka might note that they have one individual member in Krill in the watchtower. However, that angle well covered by Lubo and Bazi. Yes. Yasha, I like how he did fall back off of the building. He heard the crunching from Anvern here, and he's going to link up with the rest of his squad to where he does have coverage.
Swat 69. Coffin has held on for so long, but going down Mount Kresnik in the open like that is going to be incredibly difficult. I wonder if Baad no. Baad also have to try and make their way into circle. NASR is holding on to all of them, but Yalla gets knocked down. Engage on Sandra, holding on to the edge of the river. Rock and play. Good angles from Tochka G.
And just like that, they expose themselves. They expose their locations, getting a knock on Yalla. It's a worthy one, but Pain is going to react. They did suffer a knock right back onto Kirill in that watch tower. Yasha moving.
Well, yeah, Pineapple did get a knockdown onto Krill, but I don't think that's going to be confirmed.
Nah, it will not be confirmed. Yasha quick moves, shifting across the street, clouding their vision. As a Baad said, you weren't looking at us earlier, but we're moving up. We will eliminate one team in SWAT 69 from the board down here southwest.
And now Khaled gets a knockdown onto Ninja, leaving Marco and has him left standing. But Marco dips up, peeks up, gets a knockdown onto Nectar. That's good stuff. Good night from them. Has him. What can he do? Marco's going up against the Blues on Baad, still trying to hold on. But in the end, it's just too much. And Baad get wiped out in 6th place. 5 teams left. 17 players. The circle shifts into the center area where Yasha from Pain holds on to the golden tower.
Yasha having a good moves to quickly smoke his fallen member and then claim the center as Lubo, the IGL, joins as well. Yalla exacting a bit of vengeance, dropping Pevanalpi there off that edge.
But in saying that, NASR comes in and says, hey, you know what? We're not going to make it easy. 2 members of Pain down. Just like that, the hands of NASR. That is going to make it harder for Pain to hold on. But Pineapple from Tochka G did get knocked down. So Lee just joke about and Sandra left standing as Yalla have made their way nearly across the river. But they are far away from the circle. And they've got to go uphill. Up in through the river. It's going to be difficult.
Oh man, Zero is really about it. Tossing that utility into the Tochka nest there. We located that they are all present on this immediate angle, and we're going to try to end it before we have to cross the rest of this ravine. Zero getting tagged up as he pushes. Does get into that rock crevice there, just adjacent Sandra and parallel of Jokeabout.
Jokeabout's waiting. They're holding on. She wants to bait them out. Zero isn't being super aggressive. Sandra will go down. Now it's all left to joke about. Whatever happens, though, you can't deny the incredible run Tochka G have had as Yasha comes in, knocks down Zero from behind. You just spoke too soon, Yalla. You didn't look around you. You got knocked down.
Oh, NASR, what are you doing? NASR moving forward towards Pain here. I'm actually digging it. It's a small rock with all our forces here, and we're going to beam onto Yasha. Yasha returning with a molly right before he was knocked in the IGL Lubo. It all rests in your hands. Going to shift over for that revive. Hazem, you got to cover that south angle of Frag. They've been living up to their name and clearing that eastern edge, and you might be next as Hamodi drops Rage on that eastern side.
I don't know why Hazem and Ninja aren't going more forward. They did recognize the fact that there was 2 remaining players of Pain inside that tower, so it was right to go for that foot push. Very calculated play, but they comes in on the side to take down and leave Yasha and Lubo on their own. It's going to be incredibly difficult. They're trying to hold on.
And Lubomir with a tough task of reviving and defending. Does get Yasha up. Hit the right side first. Marco is here. He's going to shift over to the building. Ninja tags him up down to low and half health. I would have liked to see you push up on Marco there. You're knocked now, Lubo. A bit of extra shifting. Yasha says, let me do it. And he's finished there. Almost clutched it, but Hazem, the unknown and original rock holder, able to clear it up. That's what you need to do. NASR versus Yalla here. We're going to have a Mina finish for the first time.
And these 2 teams, they're at the bottom of the standings. Okay, Yalla have improved. They've gotten up closer to the top 10, but NASR, they've really had kind of, okay, they're roughly 9th overall, so credit where credit is due to them, but these 2 teams, they need the result. Whatever happens, NASR on 9 kills. If they can hit double digits with the chicken dinner, that would be an incredible result. What did help NASR was that Jokeabout, the remaining player from Tochka G, actually got 2 knockdowns on the Yalla, which actually stopped Yalla from rotating up the hill to potentially clap back onto both NASR and Payne.
Yeah, a bit of a blessing in disguise being held at bay there. And now Yalla Janu replacing iFrag, or excuse me, Frag here on that southern edge from their heels. And we saw the utility attempts from Zana on that eastern edge, also smoking his way forward. They should be aware of this angle. All hell and high water was erupting here, and it is still not clear.
Nice grenades by Zana. Just try and catch out the members of NASR. Using that little peek in the hill. Like I mentioned, being downhill on the edge of the circle in the late game is always an incredibly good position to hold on to, because you're able to see the pixelated bodies a little bit more as they look down in your direction. Jano gets a knockdown on the Hazard. This is the push Yalla needs. Zana goes on top of the satellite dish, trying to find the angle, but they're being careful. They're being safe. They're not going too aggressive because they want to try and find the perfect opportunity.
John opening that up, allowing Zana to push all the way, and he needed it. No helmet, red level 3 vest, switching for a level 1. Molly coming out into building NASR here. Will it connect? It doesn't look like it's flush enough here. He will hold down that observatory angle as they shift outside the building. Janu, you did a great job of getting that opening knock, but he's going to need you here.
Let's see if Yalla can see into the stars with this game and take down NASR. I like the fact that Jano and Yalla and Zana, should I say, are separated, but if one gets knocked, the other is going to go down pretty swiftly as Zana goes down below from the observatory tower, repositions away, goes right close to Ninja, finds him, shooting shots towards each other.
Look at the quick straight from Zana, a mechanical monster. We've been saying it all day. Yes, flush a point right there as Hazem comes towards the doorway. Look at the shots. Good coverage from outside of the window there. Zana does go down behind a small pine tree here. Will be the hopes and efforts of Yalla. Whoa, helmet exploding. What a tag there. Low amounts of health, blue on you. That is it. NASR holding out strong there and clutching up their first victory.
Whoa. Much needed from both teams, but you can't discredit the result that Yalla Esports got. Bouncing back, getting 7 kills with second place. That's going to be 21 points. That's double digits. Nothing to be sniffed at. NASR getting a much needed good result. Payne, hey look, consistently in there along with Tochka G. 2 first place and a 4th place.
Oh, what?
Come on.
Unreal. Unreal, guys. We have about one more chance to make sure we qualify for those finals here for these contenders in semifinals B. Who will advance? Stand by to find out.
West on the left side of that river.
Yeah, you got to be ready for it. Never feel too safe. Never plant down your flag too securely. You might have to uproot, dip, and shoot. And we're going to go over to that southwest corridor. Looks like Coffin getting a bit closer to Team Baad. Baad in a bad way on their leaderboards. We're going to have to come out and impress for these next 2 matches here.
Tochka B, they've held themselves inside Cosmodrome. It's working out for now, but look at the amount of teams around them. They've got Alpha, Yalla, Totem. Yeah. This is not going to be easy for them should they have to disengage based on their circle shift. I feel like they're going to have to go quite aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be as clean as the way it unfolded last match in Miramar, but they were able to hold out being the most northern team that match. Maybe they can replicate that success here today, or here on this map.
Yeah, of course. you know, and they could rotate. They could go on the north side of Cosmodrome and shift around on the edge of the circle that way. So, you know, there is that potential. I'm just saying, when you're looking down the south, they've allowed too many teams to get close to them.
Yeah.
Disengage away.
Yeah, so how are you going to get out of this one if needed? They like to hit those external rotations, but even those have been claimed. You're going to have to barrel through, I guess. You're going to have to shoot through. You allow them into your house. Yeah, now you got to exterminate. You let them here.
While 12-18 and iKurd are engaging onto each other, we've seen Kram, the last player up for iKurd, going to look to take him down, but in the end, it's just too much as 12-18 get another bunch of kills, and iKurd find themselves down and out once again. That's not going to be good for them, though, because they're 6th overall, potentially, speculatively, and about 10 points ahead of 8th or 9th place, so that's definitely not going to bode well for them in the overall standing.
Speaking of not boding well, Rob's attempting to throw utility into House NASR here, bouncing off the wall and almost taking himself down. As if you already didn't have a numbers disadvantage, being the only member here from WaWa, you're almost self-nading here, and they're going to take this time. NASR, you need to finish this off. You noted the opposition from the backside across the bridge from Frag. Don't let them set up camp here for Team WaWa.
Well, I don't know if they know that the two members that were across the river were actually okay. Yeah.
They got Robs. They did.
Why Robs? Just why? Please, I would love to know a reason why. I would just love to.
Oh man, people got some explaining to do today, guys. Today we need some explanation, and this is a little bit different than yesterday's semifinals final day. A lot of teams did press a little bit more aggressively, but they stayed true to the strats. It looks like people are panicking a bit.
Yeah, I think they are, and you know what? I'm trying not to be too critical because they're humans. In the heat of the moment, your mind can get frazzled. But that's where you gotta prepare yourself. That's where you gotta be in the right mindset coming into these games. Otherwise, you can make those fumbling mistakes. You can make those rotations where you kind of look back and go, "How the hell? Why the hell did I do that?" So, all I ask is that WaWa learn from it. That's all.
And then the mark for champion. I'm not sure exactly how they got here. Hopefully, they came across from an unbeknownst area, but to throw yourself out in the open there when Frag was already here holding down the opposite side, this is another toss into a cross angle here. Gotta be aware of.
I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but we've seen Totem rotate near towards Tochka G, and Tochka G is going to be like, you set him up, we'll knock him out. Good stuff from Tochka. They got 2 kills on the board.
Yeah, you said clear him out, and clear we shall. Is that all of Totem? Is that the pole erased?
Yep, that's Totem knocked down. The pole's being shut down. That's it. It's lying on the floor, ready to set up for the next game.
You know what is actually wild to say? That pain coming off that west side towards Tochka G. This favors Tochka, not just because of the land structure, but they have not lost a single fight and decisively eradicated them in the first qualifying match for semifinals B.
Yeah, true. Now, I would like to see Tochka use that north side of Cosmodrome rotation still inside the circle to wrap around and send 2 or 1 players forward, kind of more on the east side in between Yalla and ARB. But right now, I think they're very confident in what they hold on to. And look, if you're confident of where you are, stick to that. Stick to your convictions. No point in rotating if you feel confident as a team where you are.
Yes, indeed. Stick to your guns. And speaking of guns, it looks like the real deal is going to have to beam at Zako. We saw the spread happening over here southeast for 12-18, trying to wrap around them, but they left poor little Zako alone. And Daddy said, if you leave the kids alone... Okay, that's not good. Anyways, Daddy's able to drop him down on that southeast angle, and Rogi will be trying to... Rogi,
I'm glad you stopped that. You know what?
Oh my Lanta.
He's not gonna stop fighting. He's not gonna stop shooting. He is ready to find the remaining players at 12-18. But Hackshot takes a little bit of damage. Hackshot goes down to around half health behind that rock. He goes. Daddy is still not going too far forward. The rotation from 12-18 are surprising the real deal a little bit. But look at Azzy. Look at Albie. They're ready. They're looking for him, and Hackshot gets knocked down onto Road.
Bandita causing these clouds to form, not able to put the most productive counter sprays, but it says I'll at least toss this cloud formation for you. It did buy them a bit of a moment to not be completely thirsted, but Bandita said, that's all I'll give you because I'm gone.
Yeah, no, that just leaves a real deal singing, Daddy, Daddy cool. Daddy, Daddy cool.
Oh my gosh, look at the zone staying true. Half of Cosmo in, and it looks like Tochka G gets to clear that north side. What a wild time.
I'm sorry, but Jack, like, what kind of sorcery is this? What kind of sorcery is this?
They can do no wrong. They can do no wrong. Let me see the amulet or the hex bag you got, because it is phenomenal and it doesn't miss. Wow. It's
like have they got the look of the Irish on their side?
I did. I don't. Are you coaching? What's happening? You or Six or Reese are coaching. One of y'all. Something's happening. It looks like.
Now, on the east side, ARB champions and Yalla, they're kind of engaging with each other. Smoker and Hellboy realizes that and actually disengages away. Clever play from ARB champions. Nice to see that reaction coming out. You're seeing Yalla going a little bit closer to the edge of the circle. The river is in play. Jack, we could still see once again a hard shift down onto the west side of the river. So let's take that into account. Let's not forget it.
Yeah, and it looks like just Pain and Bad holding on to hopes that it remains on that west side of the river, causing a bit of a yin-yang onto this circle here. And for once, I'm not mad at this ARB rotation. This I like, rotating around northeast to a northeastern zone here. Please keep doing this.
Well, yeah, it was because they kind of saw or got a little bit spotted out by Yalla, and they reacted incredibly quickly, and that results them in being put in a better position. So I like that coming out from them. Of course, we are going to see the blue zone now closing in, so we are seeing the teams getting tighter and tighter, closer together. We still have Anto from WaWa, so that's something to take into account. Look, let's not count them out just yet. 13 teams, 38 players left as Freak knocks down.
Were you trying to cook one onto Antho? Because it didn't quite work out the way you suspected. All right, this bridge is just cursed. From being blessed up to Tochka G-Land, just cursed on this bridge. A lot of awkward movements here. I'm going to go take a look at Alliance over here on that southeast, trying to clear off their calling card, clear off anything in and around their vicinity here, and they're pretty damn proficient at it. Yalla to the north have had a bit of a quiet run. They did snake their way up to second place in Miramar at the hands of Janu there, but other than that, been pretty quiet and ineffective on this board so far.
Good, yeah, 0 kills, but look, ready to set themselves up for the late game. And like I said, Jag, I called it. We could see a hard shift, and it shifts down to the west, sitting good for Pain, Bad, hell, even Frag, NASR, and kind of WaWa. But look at the real deal. Instantly reacting. It's gonna be risky. They're going for the bridge, but I wonder, do they know? What do they see? Look in my eyes. What do you see? A whole Frag team knocking them down.
Unreal. We do make it across the lake. Antho, poor guy here is like, what's happening? I was chilling on a rock, and all of a sudden a full real deal, a full real package obliterates me and removes me from the board. Is Frag coming across the bridge as well? Looks like we are going to be wrapping around just a bit. Luckily for us, Alpha Legends is busy to the north with ARB. They were holding us down here for such a while. ARB, I was just crediting you on the rotations. How did you get thrusted into this mayhem? Alpha Legends 2 and 2 literally will be surrounding them, as 3 Zeus has to deal with 2 of them in Raymond and Kaito here. The Flames of War.
Here's the thing, I don't mind because it's over a compound on the edge of the circle. So go hard, go home, crash the compound, go in. Yalla and Alliance, they are engaging on each other. I don't know if you're keeping an eye on that, but this fight between Alpha and ARB champions are still holding out. Being very careful with 3 Zeus gets knocked down.
And it's like Yalla coming in off of the eastern heels will be able to third party this. We saw Mirza outside, not able to react in time. That felt like a day as Zana stared down the 3-part scope and helped to eradicate ARB from the board. Are they next on your dinner plate? Alpha Legends, you have them weakened, and Janu will crash the wall there. We're designing it.
Yeah, indeed. And now Zana goes through. Zero and Rage is going to follow up, but they are in the open. They've got to go in. They cannot allow Alpha Legends to revive themselves up. And now it comes in Zana. Alpha Legends will hear the footsteps. They'll hear the sound of the vehicles. They've got to be prepared. It's 3 against 4 as Jano going in. But is he going too hard too much on his own. No, he's wrapping around. He has Zana by his side. Raging Zero on the other side of the building.
Nice use of the ramp to get some information. Did note Raymond coming up as well, and that allows for the molly to be pretty true, dropping him down to, you literally see him run past by my screen, on fire in the next window, but they're keeping him at bay in the distance. I think Payne's after this, there shall be no more. For one last time, I need y'all to roar, said Jay-Z.
Oh my God, yes.
Here we go with the very last game of the Rescue $1,200 semifinals. After this, it's just pure finalists going at it against the best in the world.
Hey, look, you know what? Some of these teams have 99 problems. And these 16 teams are all of them, to be honest. But, okay, so I've done my quick math once again, and I'm not going to go on the top. I'm going to focus on basically the bottom teams fighting for the top 8. There's 21 points from what I can tell, dividing 7th place and 11th place. So going for 7th, you have Yalla on 63 points. The Real Deal on 62 points, Alliance on 48, Swat 69 on 44, and Totem on 42.
I can't believe the likes of those names you just named.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Again, speculation, but if I tell you what, if I'm pretty close, I'm gonna be happy.
He's like, at least I got the names right. That's the first stuff.
Wow, man. Thanks.
All right, guys, let's take a look at this play path. Not that it matters too heavily. We are indeed in Sandhawk, extending from that western island south of Camp Alpha and terminating around Docks. All right, northwest to southeast, guys.
So, like I said, I would like to kind of give or take, keep an eye more so on the teams between 7th and 11th, the teams that really have to get a good result. Baad and Tochka G, they're going to be in Painan. Won't worry too much about them. You got 12-18 in Team Pain. Not looking too bad going over the Paradise. Although Yalla need a good result. ARB champions and Team Frag along with WaWa.
2 down on WaWa. Cremo and Steve in the main building. They're separated by wings. Impact and Anto. The majority of the stack of ARB coming to Impact's wing and dropping him where he stands here. One last player in Anto. There's 2 other full squads here as well. Around Anto. Poor boy.
Oh, you know this is the last game of a group when they're all going kind of boot camp. 3 teams in boot camp. You'll love to see it, but I tell you what, Anto isn't going to love to see it.
Oh!
Onto Omar, but in the end, the pressure is too much, and 3 Zeus wipes out WaWa. That's going to be the end of their journey in the RESQ $1,200 PUBG Mobile tournament.
And the next wave will be a Frag. This will be your time. I probably wouldn't take too long setting up shop here as Freak wraps around. We knew off of the kill feed they're a bit weakened. They did suffer some knocks, and they're recouping, and they might be ready. ARB might be as you move towards boot camp.
On a quick side note, phase 1 circle, it's quite heavily to the west. A little bit of water in play, and it does cover all the areas of the map in terms of the mainland, Northwest Island, and Southwest Island. See how it will shift up and how phase 2 will go. Of course, that does put a little bit more pressure on the teams on the east side, like the Real Deal, iKurd, Alpha Legends, and even the teams up in the northeast, 12-18 Pain and Yalla.
12-18 in Pain, as you said, forever locked in combat. I swear it was a battle of 1 and 2 until Tochka G said, stand aside, boys. You aren't the only true ones in CIS. Let a woman show you how it's done. But still, nonetheless, these boys want to slug it out here. Krill on the northeastern outskirt of Paradise, pressed on a pebble, trying to note Tulika and Zakova. Zako Novir for. I've never said the full name. Always Zako. Anyways, trying to note Zako there.
see, it's hard to say his full name, isn't it? Like, yeah. It's hard. Like.
I just give you the pieces, and you'll have to be satisfied with that, Zako.
Tulika taking a little bit of damage, but he does jump down from the high ground. The members of 12-18, they're a little bit separate. I worry about their position. I think Pain are in an overall better position. Plus, when you kind of think about it, Pain can disengage a little bit easier going down the south side of Paradise Resort, which isn't really going to be seen by 1218 should they have to.
Yeah, and Rogi might be that surprise alternate angle more over to this west side here. Does want to look to suss out what's happening in these clouds. Yalla starting to beat feet or beat wheels here as we shift around that high north, suffering a bit of shots, but not too hard there.
Yeah, they're just kind of going full sending it towards Paradise Resort. They're not really thinking too much about it, although they are disengaging. They're going up towards the north side of Paradise Resort. It might look maybe just shift into the northwest island from the bridge, all the while Frag and ABR champions are engaging on each other in the Battle of Boot Camp.
Yeah, and it looks like down south a bit here at Pinon still holding their sides of the river. Tochka to the north and Baad to the south here. Oh, Anvern has flanked her. Oh, wait, on that alternate angle. Anvern, the alternate, huh? Has made her way down south here, adjacent Baad, trying to box and fence them in here. Did note that Western Island starting to converge. NASR towards Totem. This battle started to happen a bit later in the Vikindi map, but it looks like early, suffering a knock onto Team Totem northwest in the distance.
Can we bring it back over to boot camp? Because the fight between ARB and Frag is heavily kicking off. A great grenade by Hamodi knocked down 2 members of ARB, and all it took was the push. Just Smokey's left standing. But Smoke is going to smoke a gun, and he's going to be smoked out of it. And Frag get the clean fight over onto ARB.
Not losing a single player, able to push up and clutch that one up and remove ARB from the field of play. South.
Okay. Yeah, I was just going to say Southeast is really kicking off with iKurd, the real deal, and Alpha Legends, the real deal. They need to hold on to their position because right now they're in 8th place. They're just on the cusp of qualifying. They need to get all the points. They need to back away from Alpha Legends. Can Daddy and Albie hold on?
Look at the surrounding angles from Alpha here. But Kaido with the nade knock onto Daddy on the immediate building. Albie will be shifting away. I was going to say Daddy is home, but no longer. You have been removed. You have been removed here. Absolutely. Nice supreme angles they had. 360 literally covered here. Albie wasn't able to return any type of retaliation there.
Yeah, Albie just needs to get the hell out of there, to be honest. Now he's just got to try and snake his way through and get a good result. Now, in saying that, Sandhawk, I'll always say it. Sandhawk is the kind of map where you can get a really good result as a solo player. You can. We see, hell, we even saw it with Baad. Baad, and I don't know what map it was exactly, I forget. But as a solo player, got a good result. So it can happen, especially in Sandhawk.
Absolutely. This would be the map for a solo clutch to make their dreams known here. Centralized most team with actually a 2-2 split. Northwestern Island and main island here will be SWAT 69.
SWAT 69 going for that 2-2 split Jaguar. That's a really nice play because it covers all angles. You're able to get onto either part of the map, which however shifts on phase 2, and going for that 2-2 split, you're not committing yourself.
Yeah, nice. A bit of doubling up your bet on the gamble of the zone, saying it's got to pop either or, and we're on the edge of both. As Yalla will be wrapping around high north here. Did hear all the shots, and look at 1218 literally parallel rotating just a bit better than them because they are more down south and are able to get a better land mass. That might bode pretty terrible for Yalla if they have to shift down south, which I imagine, yes, indeed, they will have to.
And that was interesting, right? Because we saw more teams going to Northwest Island, commit to Northwest Island than the Southwest Island. But now as it has shifted down to the Southwest, we could see the Alliance punish a couple of teams coming down from that Northwest Island. NASR, of course, are kind of the team that really is in a good position to push back the likes of Totem, 1218, and Yalla. But there is still plenty of space. You've got either side of Camp Alpha. You've got the far east side of the Northwest Island, so it's not going to be too difficult, but it's definitely not going to be easy.
Yeah, speaking of difficult, looks like Zako will be trying to link up with the squad. A couple of shots from Yalla to the north, but he might be able to skate off uncontested. I'm a bit worried about this southern half of SWAT 69. Did agree with the 2-2 split, but as the zone shifts further down southwest, this bottom half is going to have to be extra aggressive to keep people, and they are. They're keeping people off of them right now, and those are not ordinary people. Those are your top 5 steadiers in Tochka G.
Yeah, definitely good stuff from SWAT 69. You called it because Coffin and Ray's Ed, they've come down from that northwest island into that southwest island to join up with the rest of the team. Although Amvern claps back. You don't go up against the leaders without facing yourself under pressure. So be careful, SWAT 69.
That alternate angle, always providing an escape, always providing a way to retaliate for Anvern.
Now, iKurd, I'm surprised they're not shifting more towards the south area around Nakam and Tambang, to be honest. Same with Baad.
Yeah, and it looks like a bit up to the east of that engagement. We have SWAT 69 pressing and pressuring Frag here. Don't go for that revive, freak. Oh, he doesn't make it. In the open, you actually went before the smoke was clearly out, and you got knocked for your efforts here. A bit wild. Now 2 are behind the mossy stone here.
Yeah, I've kind of been keeping an eye between Alpha, Baad, and iKurd. So you focus on the fight between SWAT 69 and Frag. Pan over. Let me know what you're seeing. Let me know what is going on, Jack.
Yeah, looks like Outplay is following in the footsteps. Is going to be able to get this revive. Hopefully, Tochka continues to pressure SWAT 69 for you, Frag, down here in this basin. Your shooting range for SWAT 69. Coffin with the good ideas to flank around the original shots here. Trying to get outside the clouds, and they're disengaging. Take care of Hixie at first. You might not note him quite yet, but Hamodi can eat some of those shots. Your surprise angle has been given up. He just tapped him and fell back a bit. I believe he heard the footsteps of Hixia there.
Indeed. I'm still keeping an eye on this fight between Baad, iKurd, and Alpha Legends. Baad Nectar did get a knockdown onto a member of iKurd, but Alpha Legends clapped in the other direction to knock down Clever. He's not looking too clever right now. He's going to be revived by Zayad. They're a little bit pinched, but they're inside the circle, so they don't technically have to move just yet.
Do you happen to know if Clever is the IGL for Baad?
To be honest, I actually don't. That's one thing I don't know.
I was wondering, because normally, you know, your IGL, your scout is always knocked, and it is now, I think, 4 for 4. Oh, I'm not knocking the... Oh, no pun intended. I'm not no knock on him.
No.
Yeah.
I see what you're trying to do. You know, like, no, I see, you know, throwing shade. I like it.
I'm just trying to figure out the math here. Why is this happening to you, Clever? Nonetheless, yeah. He has been revived, as you said, and if that is your role, well, you got to play it. Anyways, a bit up to the northwest touch. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, because of iKurd kind of getting knocked down, they're actually doing what I suggested they expect them to do previously, which is rotating on the north of Hakam. And as the circle shifts down the southwest island, lo and behold, it's right towards iKurd. Incredible stuff. Let's see if they can make it count, and they have to make it count.
Yeah, I gotta clear it out. Speaking of clear it out, Tochka G looking for that clearance sale. Spread all across their hold and beaming at Alpha Legends here. No easy task to dislodge them from their stronghold. We do have in and around it Baad as well. And the real deal will be shifting around in Albi. Gotta be careful. This is an open way for Alpha here.
Indeed. Alpha Legends, they don't need to move too much right now. They can just hang on right now. Tochka G have retaliated and reacted very well, but Runes is getting incredibly hot between 3 teams.
Yeah, SWAT 69 took the gamble, and it's paying off. They said, we'll go for the southern one and join our forces here and forcing our way into ruins at the hands of NASR here. Marco down in the swamp. We see Hazem off that south side. It's a skinny tree here, Cosera, but he's not deterred. Gonna beam into the open warehouse there. Almost does confirm the knock there as he shifts behind and joins up with the rest of his squad here.
Oh my lord, this is getting pretty crazy. And look on the north side, 12-18 and the Alliance. These 2 teams are probably sitting pretty in the overall standings, so don't need to worry too much. Ruder gets absolutely blown to pieces. That's going to leave Headache, Discrim, and Sunrise left standing.
There's something about Alliance and a bridge, all right? I know you guys remember that epic standoff. They won't give it up. They want all the kills. Either they'll third party you to death or they'll start scaffolding on bridge rails and try to knock you as Bandita goes for the drink. Good escape. Tolika left on the bridge alone with Sunrise.
When I was calculating the standings, by the way, I did miss out iKurd, so I do apologize about that. According to my calculations, iKurd are in 9th place overall coming into this last game, so they do need a really good result indeed. But 12-18 onto the Alliance. This is incredible. Bandita 77. He just doesn't stop rocking.
What's an intellectual maneuver? It says, yeah, you hear my footsteps on the bridge, but can you hear me swimming? No, and beams down Sunrise on the bridge. Next up on his plate, Discrim and Headache.
You can just play the Jaws music. Do-do, do-do. And Bandita struck just like that. Yalla going for that north side water play that could pay off, but Zako and Rogue are there, so let's see if that will go against Yalla.
Looks like Frag high northeast now. Actually trying to flank all the way around. Did get a knock on Totem, but back over to that northwest. 12-18 want to press and pressure on the Alliance. The Alliance kind of started it, but 12-18 looking to finish it here.
And to be honest, Yalla need Alliance to hold on, right? Because they want 12-18 to be distracted by the Alliance to give them a little bit more space to get into that mainland. Because the second they get onto that beach, they're out in the open, so that's something they will have to be aware of. They're hoping that the stars can align for them, and Discrim pushes back Rogue.
Yeah, looking for that breathing room, but I don't know if it'll be there, as Rogi and Zako have shifted their attention to your bungalows here. It's not looking good. This is going to be one of the most unique battles I have ever seen over here.
Wait,
so,
I was looking at, is Zako in the water, or is he in...
They're all...
Is he in the kind of...
Yeah, Janu's in the lobby. First off, but yeah, they are in the drink. They're just fishing. Fishers of men here. Tulika dropping Zana. It's either, I mean, you might just have to bleed out. Don't feed. You're not going to crest that shore side and outshoot a shooter like 12-18.
I think Zero has been able to get away just about. It's not going to be easy. He's low on health, but he is inside the circle, and he can go on that coastal cliff sideline, but I wonder how's he even going to make it into mainland. The circle did shift once again in towards the west, right in towards the hands of Tambang. The Edge of Runes in play. You have the south of Nakam in play, as iKurd have reacted incredibly well, along with Swat 69.
It looks like iKurd is still down there, pretty well positioned. That's a blessing. As you mentioned, a team on 9th place, a team on that bubble. You've got to clear house and hold on, especially when it's giving you, when it's presenting itself to you like that with beautiful zones.
Okay, so let's look at this. As I said, speculation. Yalla right now are kind of in first place of the teams that are kind of on the cusp of not qualifying. They're in 7th place overall. You have the Real Deal in 8th, but Yalla and the Real Deal both in a situation where they only have one player left.
Yeah, and they've got to make it down, but that should be clear on that western side swim for Zero there. What is not clear, though, is Totem coming down up against 12-18, who've been decisive in all factors here from the north side here. Noting the last Alliance member and dropping him will be 12-18.
And that, I believe, will take the Alliance out of the running to qualify for the top 8. They were 10th place coming into the last game. So that is sayonara konnichiwa for our Alliance.
And after dispatching of one team, they want to quickly eradicate the totem pole here. Bandita on that backside of the bridge. We've seen him do smooth moves with the water and the bridges. Can he replicate that success here against Totem? Couple of revives up here for Totem and the boys, or for Totem Chris and the boys here. Pocket of smoke, but the blue zone forcing them forward and exposing them.
Hey, there is a last remaining player, Roxham. I don't think he's been spotted out by Yogan of Totem. Look at that! They're so close to each other and clapped in the back. Roxon gets him from behind. That's going to put Totem on even higher alert as Ali Jabba is trying to heal up, but he's going to bleed out. That's going to leave Chris as the last remaining player for Totem.
Unreal, what a pop out. Literally depositing your bullets into his backpack, saying, here, hold these and lay down. SWAT 69, come on, fish it out. You're outside of the zone, but you should be able to hold down these external players as well before you aggress towards the zone here.
I'm still trying to keep an eye on the overall standings, but we did see the circle shifting down the south, and Tochka G reacting incredibly well. They're down on the south coast. They don't need to worry about what's going on behind them, so they only need to focus on that 180-degree perspective, which in this case is iKurd, the real deal, Pain, and of course SWAT 69.
Yeah, and speaking of the real deal, the last-ditch effort in Albi did note a trio of Pain pushing forward. They've been busting down shots at Tochka G just adjacent. I feel like the Pain Tochka G battle is never ending down here, and we have made our presence known, even though our snake is still pretty well present for Team Pain. iKurd, it is your time and your moment. Hold down the zone when you got it like this, because here comes 12-18 underneath, beaming at you and coming with pure aggression here. 12-18's calling card. Yalla underneath the cliffside as well. You guys need to, as he mentioned, make your way out of that top half of the bottom bubble. Zako sending utility forward, trying to clutch up away as dual revivals need to happen for Tolika here.
Plus, we've just seen SWAT 69 drive through Pain. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. That is Pain out, and SWAT 69 are still a full squad. SWAT 69, they started this game in 11th place overall in the standing. We've seen a couple of teams above them getting knocked out. This is their chance to climb the standings.
You want to talk about a bounce back, missing the first match, down in the leaderboards, and here able to define yourself into the finals here of the rescue tournament. Make a way and clear off from the eastern edges of the zone here.
Joke about it, going into the building as the last remaining player of the real deal, holding onto the circle. The real deal, they're not safe in the top 8 just yet, but Albi doing his best to hold on. Joke about it, hanging around the edge of the building, waiting. Oh, there is Kraka coming in, and Kraka gets a knockdown onto a member of Tochka.
Oh, utility going into Albi's building. It is not even designed for you. Albi dropping joke about on the outside. Oh, utility not connecting upon him. I was going to say Albi just let these two juggernauts, let these two leaders on the east and the west shoot it out in SWAT 69 and Tochka G, but Albi says, no, I need my points. And Tochka cleared. Yalla cresting the shore side and making a way forward. Top 5. It's what you needed, and you took it into your own hands here.
I didn't know Anis was still alive from Yalla. I apologize. I thought he was out.
I
thought
thought
Yalla
so too.
was down to one player. That's incredible. And on a side note, Albi, perfect opportunity because Tochka G were distracted by SWAT 69. Albi went around, wrapped around, took down a member of Tochka G, claims another point. 4 teams left standing. Yalla.
Oh, a NASA.
The iKurd and Albi coming in as he's going to get another kill. Surprise, mother trucker.
Unbeknownst to you, this is House Albi here, but definitely known to SWAT 69, just a building away. And they said, hey, we cannot clearly get to him. We might have used all of our utility, but we're going to eradicate those coming from above and at least collect more points. It is down to our top 3 teams here. Top 2, 0 off the board of play. What? And with a utility, SWAT 69 finishing Albi. They tried 3 times. The 4th time was the charm, and they confirm. Wow, 9 kills, Tron, huh? Tron Legacy.
What?
Yes,
what?
Man.
Like that. That was like, now you see me, now you don't kind of end of the game. Like iKurd were in it the last time I checked,
SWAT
and then they got taken out in 4th.
Yep.
Yalla finished 3rd, but you know what? SWAT 69. You said it. Tron 9 kills. Coursera with 4, Coffin with 3, and Ray's Ed with 5. What an end. What a fight for SWAT 69.
If my math doesn't fail me, that's 21? 21 kills.
Oh my god, that's like
is that the first? That is the first, like yeah.
Oh my god. Okay, so if you don't mind, do you kind of just mind kind of talking and going over a couple of things while I try to calculate?
Let's wrap here. So SWAT 69. I love a good Disney story. If you want to email my man Imperium here and give him some hate mail, he doesn't like Disney. Okay. So I'm telling you that right now. He doesn't like Disney. I know it's pretty crazy, but I do like a good underdog story, and that is what I'm that is what I'm talking about. He mentioned earlier they came in today 11th place. They came in the first day missing one game. If anybody needed to clear a deficit, it would be them. For them to qualify, which we're thinking, and he's doing the math to see if that is indeed true. That is miraculous, and that is gumption, guys. Coming out in the last game with a dub, that's going to give you 41 points. About half the board started the day under 41 points in 4 games, and they got it here in 1 game. Unreal. Also, though, speaking of real deal here, doing a fantastic job of always keeping themselves, and I would say about top 8. I think the first game they had a top 5, top 6 as well, and they needed to secure that. Speaking of needing, I don't know if it's enough. We're crunching right now as hard as we can, but Yalla.
I'm trying, man.
No, you're good. I'm just saying, I don't know if it's enough. Yalla started at the bottom of the board. I think second to last place. They had a second place and a third place. Not any high fragging movements there, as towards the end of their zones, it was just 1 player left, 0 in this case for this Sandhawk game, and then in Miramar against Tochka G, it was Janu there, but still able to get yourself 2 top 3 placements when you're at the bottom of the score sheet. Let's hope that's enough. You did just about all you could. And speaking of, I mean, I don't really know. Because iKurd, it was another team on that bubble, and they got 4th.
Just wait. I'm nearly there.
The most secure team in the top 5 was 12-18. That is one, and then even 6th place was Tochka G. You know, pretty secured CIS teams, but everyone else literally doing what they had to do in that top 4. I cannot tell you. It's unreal. Even Totem coming up with that 7th. Pain, I think they might have slipped out of that top 3. A couple of top fragging performances. They start off the day.
No, as far as I know, they did.
They're still there? Okay, they're still there. So well earned to them. We knew all they had to do was finish middle of the pack, and that's literally what they did. 8th place here. NASR, I don't know what to tell you. Baad. I had a couple of underwhelming performances. I don't think we'll be seeing you next week in the finals, but unreal comeuppance, especially for a team like Tochka G. Well, let me just talk about that. Tochka G, this is their lowest placing game here today, guys, and it's 6th place.
Yeah, incredible, like their consistency. And I think it was mainly like what hurt them in that game was they got 0 kills. That's probably the thing that hurt them the most in this game. But still, to stay, you know, relative in the, and that's I think that's one thing is about Sandhawk. You do have to be a little bit more aggressive. You can rotate well, but you kind of have to push your way through at times because there's less landmass generally available compared to other maps, but in the end it was still a great result for them.
Exactly. So in the map where you had to be the most aggressive, and not by their own fault, they just didn't have the best positions to be the most aggressive from, but still 6th place off of IQ alone, a first place, and a 4th place for Tochka. Way to come up to you got it? Nearly got it. Let me take a look at who else on the board here. A great question mark for me is the Alliance. They're one of the teams that I was saying all over the map, somehow pinballing and bullying teams left and right. 3rd-party game, phenomenal, which is what you need in the mid stages of the games to not risk. You cannot go from compound to compound and expect to survive off those pushes. But the Alliance was checking 360. They were spread for kilometers at a time and holding down multiple teams. Sometimes it worked out, sometimes not so much, as you see here right now, getting 13th place and 0 kills this match. Not always working out. So that's another one of those question mark teams that I mean, I really couldn't tell you where they lie on that leaderboard, but maybe MP here will be able to tell you.
I'm trying. I'm sorry, man.
You're good. You're good. I'm going to switch us over here to, you guys saw the scores. I'm going to switch to the chat screen. I'm going to pull up again. So these scores, all right, just from day 1 of Group B. I swear that 69 is, I'm looking at the chats over there. 100 in YouTube. Appreciate you guys watching, and also on Twitch. So if I'm talking to somebody and it doesn't make sense to you, now you know. Agath, I see you with the popcorn. What up? Hi, 11. You'll be busy today with this fine Irishman here doing some great work. So I appreciate you tuning in, guys. So what we're about to give you.
I think I've got it. All right.
Disclaimer, guys, unofficial. Of course, he saw him here crunching it.
Unofficial disclaimer. unofficial. I will not stop repeating. This is unofficial. Please do not hunt me down if I give the wrong information. This is purely my potato math speculation.
Someone's gonna come in like, Celine, he said I was 8th. Imperium. Let us know.
Okay, so first place, Tochka G with 116 points.
Wow.
In second place, 1218 with 106. In third place, Payne with 99 points. In fourth place was Frag with 96 points. In fifth place, Yalla with 74 points. In sixth place, the real deal, 78 points. Seventh place, Alpha with 74 points. And eighth place, by my speculation, iKurd with 67 points.
What? If that's true, iKurd. Wow.
My speculation.
Wow.
Because the no, I'm actually no. I'm forgetting about the team.
Nope. They're already sending hate mail. They're already.
Okay. So actually, yeah. Sorry, I apologize, iKurd, but I think it's actually NASR that has secured that last place.
Awkward.
As far as I know, NASR finished on 74 points, the same amount of points as Alpha, which I do believe that secured them the 8th spot. I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I've tried my best.
He did indeed. The man was crunching. The man was casting. Ain't nothing to be sorry for. We definitely appreciate you rocking with us. My man's pulling triple duty. All right. Speaking of duty, he's got some official and amazing duty to be handling tomorrow. PMCO EU Regional Finals, along with some of you amazing gladiators who played today. So definitely want to say good luck to you and appreciate you. The man came from rehearsals literally for PMCO and came to cast with us. So I appreciate you. It's been an absolute learning moment. And these are just the semifinals. We got more. So good luck to you tomorrow and good luck to these teams as well. Talk to your people.
Exactly. So, like, obviously, we have some teams that have qualified for the finals of the RESQ tournament. They are playing in the EU regional finals. So that's going to be the momentum builder. That's going to be the moment where they have to kind of put what they've learned from this tournament, the mentality, the pressure, the way you handle yourself as a team, and carry that forward to the EU regional finals. Of course, me and Maxman, who I'm going to be casting with, we've done a lot of talking. We've seen what's been going on the scrim. So all I will say is tune in over the next 2 days. There's definitely going to be a couple of surprises.
Oh, yeah. I'll be there. The world will be watching. Guys, it's been a dope semifinals. Some surprises, some dislodgings, and some uprising. Let's see which 16 battle it out in the $12,000 RESQ Esports finals, guys. Be blessed.